morning to everyone in the gallery. Good morning to our nation and all those who are watching from around the world. We're so pleased to be here for another sitting of our Youth Parliament during the month of October, where we are celebrating National Youth Month under the theme, Youth Voices Unlocked. And what better way to unlock the voices of our young people than through a Youth Parliament sitting or session. And so we are so pleased to be favored with the presence of our acting minister in the person of the Honorable Leon Lundy. Let's give it up for Minister Lundy. And just before we begin our formal session, we are going to hear remarks and greetings from Minister Lundy.
Thank you, Director Neely, and good morning. This is a special occasion for me to address a new generation of voices gathered in this honorable House for Youth Parliament 2025. I am honored to bring greetings on behalf of the Honorable Minister Mario Boleg, the Member of Parliament for Garden Hills, who is our Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, and in whose stead I stand today. I'm also proud to see our young people stepping confidently into the national conversation, ready to take their place in shaping the future of the Bahamas. Youth Parliament is not a formality. It is a foundation. It teaches that leadership begins with listening, that persuasion requires understanding, and that good governance is born from good character. What you are doing here today mirrors what happens in this chamber every week. You are debating issues that affect the lives of Bahamians and learning that every decision carries consequence. Our democracy deepens on participation. The Constitution of the Bahamas affirms the rights and freedoms of every citizen, but it is through opportunities like this that those rights truly live. When young Bahamians engage with national issues, we strengthen the roots of our democracy. Every time you rise to speak, you remind us that the future is already in the room. Leadership does not begin with a title. It begins with conviction, courage, and compassion. It begins when you decide that silence is no longer an option. Today, you are being trained not to just argue a point, but to understand the power of principle. You are being shaped not only for politics, but for purpose. You are unlocking your voices. I wish to commend the Division of Youth under the leadership of Ms. Sandina Neely, the coordinator of the National Youth Assembly, Ms. Lauren Ashley Hasty, along with the entire team at the Division of Youth Sports. Their consistent work ensures that the next generation of Bahamian leaders is informed, inspired, and truly involved. To the parents, teachers, and mentors who stand behind our youth parliamentarians, I thank you. Your guidance and belief make all the difference. Behind every confident young leader is someone who took the time to listen, teach, and to encourage. To the youth parliamentarians, I say this: honor this privilege of being here, speak with clarity, debate with respect. I'll say that again: debate with respect, listen with humility, and never forget that your words can shape minds and move hearts. The Bahamas is listening to you today. Carry this experience forward. Let it remind you that leadership is service, that integrity is influence, and that your generation has both the right and the responsibility to lead with wisdom and courage. As you begin your debates, remember this: the future of the Bahamas is not waiting for you. It is already calling you. Step up and answer that call. I extend my congratulations to all of you, participants and organizers of this Youth Parliament, and may this experience deepen your love for country and strengthen your commitment to national service. Thank you all.
In this moment, as we reflect on this devotional time, I speak to you, honorable members, to stay focused, to remember that your focus today must be that of forward thinking, creating opportunities, being clear with a caring heart, also understanding unity, and that you're here to serve. Let us pray. Father, we thank you for these proceedings today, as youth parliamentarians are here to stand and to unlock their voices for their generation, and to the representatives of the constituencies. Grant them wisdom, courage, and clarity of thought as they speak and debate in the sitting of youth in Parliament, as they deliberate on matters of national importance, including artificial intelligence and the Junkanoo Authority Bill. May they be guided by truth, integrity, and the spirit of unity. Let their words build up our nation and inspire innovation rooted in our Bahamian identity and culture. Cover them with your grace and protection. Lord, let their leadership today prepare them to serve tomorrow with excellence. In Jesus' name, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is your kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Good morning. Resolutions. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Garden Hills.
Resolution, artificial intelligence. Whereas artificial intelligence, or AI, and machine learning, ML, technologies are increasingly influencing decision-making, research, government, and communication across the globe. Whereas the integration of AI and ML algorithms, methodologies, and techniques within government operations and academic institutes in the Bahamas present opportunities for innovation, efficiency, and modernization within public administration and education. And whereas these emerging technologies also pose significant challenges, including data privacy concerns, algorithmic biases, misinformation, and potential displacement of traditional employment sectors. And whereas the Data Protection, Privacy of Personal Information Act of 2023 of the Bahamas establishes a legal framework to safeguard the collection, storage, and use of personal data, thereby serving as a critical mechanism for regulating how AI and ML systems handle and process sensitive information. And whereas it is essential to ensure that the implementation of AI and ML in the Bahamas remain consistent with the principles of data protection, transparency, accountability, and respect for individual privacy rights as outlined in the mentioned Act. Be it resolved that the members assembled in the third session of the National Youth Assembly Bahamas shall debate the opportunities and challenges associated with the development and use of artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, methodologies, and techniques being implemented within government and academic systems. Be it further resolved that this National Youth Assembly shall consider how the Bahamas can harness the benefits of these emerging technologies while safeguarding citizens' rights through social, cultural, educational, technological, and legislative measures in alignment with the Data Protection, Privacy of Personal Act of 2003. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, fellow parliamentarians.
My name is Barrington Hawkins, and I stand today as a proud representative of the great constituency of Garden Hills. Mr. Speaker, as we talk about this topic of artificial intelligence, I would like to share you a quote of the late and great Charlie Kirk. Technology isn't moral or immoral. It's a tool. What matters is the character of the people who use it. Mr. Speaker, in this era of rapid technological advancement, the Bahamas stands at the threshold of a digital revolution, one powered by artificial intelligence and machine learning. Yet, as with every powerful tool, Mr. Speaker, they carry risks that must be managed with wisdom, transparency, and accountability. But, Mr. Speaker, I rise today in full support of the resolution, which calls for thoughtful embracement of artificial intelligence while safeguarding the rights and privacy of our people. Our goal is not just to modernize, but to humanize technology, to ensure that AI serves the people and not the other way around. Mr. Speaker, AI offers smarter services, data-driven decisions, and personalized learning. As the resolution notes, it can drive innovation, efficiency across government and academia, making behemoth institutions faster, fairer, and more responsive to behemoths' needs. However, Mr. Speaker, the resolution warns of serious risks, data privacy concerns, misinformation, algorithmic biases, and job displacement. But this is why I believe that the Data Protection Bill is so critical. This bill clearly states that personal data must be processed lawfully, fairly, and transparently. The same principles should govern how systems handle our citizens' information. Section 8 of this bill requires transparency, that every behemoth has the right to know how their data is collected and used. Section 11 within this bill, Mr. Speaker, enforces data security, ensuring protection from loss or unauthorized access. Together, these create the ethical backbone of how to use AI responsible. Both the resolution and the bill share a vision, Mr. Speaker, of innovation guided by accountability. The bill's fairness cause echoes the resilient call for transparency and privacy, ensuring AI serves citizens ethically and no behemoth is left unprotected within this digital age. While I stand in full support of this resolution, Mr. Speaker, if I may, I propose 3 brief enhancements to this resolution. Number 1, an ethical oversight committee. I believe that if we establish a national AI ethics and data oversight committee under the Data Protection Commissioner, this council would monitor AI services used in government, ensuring that they hold fairness and equality in accordance with the bill's fairness principle. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, Section 15 of the bill already empowers the Commissioner to promote awareness of data rights. I believe, Mr. Speaker, that we should extend this to include AI literacy, educating citizens on how algorithms influence education, employment, and government. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, I believe that as the annual reports of DI systems are reported by the government and government agencies, outlining their purpose, database, and safeguards, this would give the Bahamas confidence that the technology is operated behind the scenes and accountability to them, not hidden from the Bahamian people. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the issue before us is not whether the Bahamas should adopt artificial intelligence, but will we harness it responsibly, guided by the principles of law, fairness, and human dignity, or will we allow it to advance further than our ethics can keep up? Mr. Speaker, by applying this AI resolution with the Data Resolution Bill, we commit to the progress that is both smart and just. Mr. Speaker, let us ensure that the Bahamas grows technologically, that it remains morally grounded, that proving that innovation and integrity can, must, and will advance together. Mr. Speaker, the representative of Garden Hills yields the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Someone's had coffee this morning. Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Long Island. Is there a seconder? The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Long Island.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the resolution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. AI is not the problem unless you make it a problem. Artificial intelligence has been around for a while. However, this technology is rather new and quite popular in the developed world. AI's popularity has exploded in the last 5 years since it has become more accessible for everyone and integrated in nearly every social media app and search engine. However, AI has faced a lot of controversy recently. Damaging intellectual property, violating integrity, and the diminishing of critical thinking are all reasons as to why AI has faced a lot of negative feedback by the populace. Many students abuse AI to easily bypass classes without retaining any information. Despite existing AI detection systems, students still find their way to duck these systems. Telling people to stop using AI will not work. That's like placing candy in front of a child and telling them not to eat it. The convenience artificial intelligence provides is unmatched by any technological software, and everyone is getting in on this technology. Therefore, we must harness the benefits of these emerging technologies while safeguarding citizens' rights through social, cultural, educational, technological, and legislative measures. The United States, Canada, and other first world nations have been using AI from the mid-1900s. Therefore, the Bahamas must ensure that our people's intellectual property is not violated in and outside our borders. The Data Protection Bill of 2025 seeks to protect this transfer of personal data outside the Bahamas, found on Section 6 of the bill, subsection 52. It says verbatim, personal data shall not be transferred to a country, territory, or international organization unless that country, territory, or international organization ensures an adequate level of protection for the rights and freedoms of data subjects in relation to the processing of personal data. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, policies must be implemented to protect people's intellectual property. Seminars must begin to educate our people on digital ethics, digital literacy, and digital legislation. There must be consequences for those caught committing illicit digital offenses. Artificial intelligence has blown out of proportion. People are making videos of male politicians in dresses and are inserting words in these politicians' mouth that they never uttered. These hyper-realistic contents are hard to even decipher whether these videos are real or not, which is a significant dilemma found within AI. Legal dilemmas within academic institutions rely on outdated infrastructure, which makes this costly to integrate these systems. Also, in government, there are numerous opportunities AI can and has already brought for some nations. AI can be especially useful doing the boring work. It can direct you to exactly what you are looking for in a 100-page essay. It can send you to a law in the Constitution instantly if programmed to do so. It can summarize hundreds and thousands of documents and save countless precious time. In a social aspect, these seminars can be used to educate individuals on how to use AI correctly to safeguard our Bahamian people. These seminars will educate students on ethical practices of artificial intelligence, that can bring when used unethically, and the consequences they will face if found guilty of violation of academic integrity. This is necessary to discourage students from violating this integrity and diminishing their critical thinking skills. AI can bring immense benefits in the academic world. It can break down challenging math concepts, summarize extensive articles, and offer guidance in the midst of academic fog. This technology is already being utilized by teachers in planning lessons and grading assignments, which saves countless hours of this precious time. This extra time gives teachers the opportunity to produce higher quality work and avoid burnout, allowing them to pour into their students more during their lessons. Mr. Speaker, we do not have to rely on ChatGPT. Our own AI program can be produced with enough investment. If we have sufficient human capital to develop and build upon existing technologies, this will be the avenue to strengthen digital literacy and diversify the national economy. If this can become successful, we will have our own learning management systems and replace it with the current LMS platform, which is ridden with technical difficulties and errors in data processing. While this may be an expensive project to fund our country, it will reap numerous benefits in the government, academia, and the larger national arena. The Bahamas must catch the bus while it is passing. If we do not, we will be left behind in the digital race that is taking off whether we catch the bus or not. The time to act is now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. It has been moved and seconded that the following resolution be agreed. Whereas artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML technologies are increasingly influencing decision-making, research, governance, and communication across the globe. Whereas the integration of AI and ML algorithms, methodologies, and techniques into government operations and academic institutions in the Bahamas presents opportunities for innovation, efficiency, and modernization with public administration and education. And whereas these emerging technologies also pose significant challenges, including data privacy concerns, algorithmic bias, misinformation, and the potential displacement of traditional employment sectors. And whereas the Data Protection or Private Personal Information Act 2003 of the Bahamas establishes a legal framework to safeguard the collection, storage, and use of personal data, thereby serving as a crucial mechanism for regulating how AI and ML systems handle and process sensitive information. And whereas it is essential to ensure that the implementation of AI and ML in the Bahamas remains consistent with the principles of data protection, transparency, accountability, and respect for individual privacy rights as outlined in the aforementioned Act. Be it resolved that the members assembled for the third session of the National Youth Assembly of the Bahamas shall debate the opportunities and challenges associated with the development and use of artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, methodologies, and techniques implemented within government and academic systems. Be it further resolved that this National Youth Assembly shall consider how the Bahamas can harness the benefits of these emerging technologies while safeguarding citizens' rights through social, cultural, educational, technological, legislative measures in alignment with the Data Protection or Privacy of Personal Information Act of 2003. Good morning, honorable members, and the members of this esteemed body. It is a privilege to be amongst all of you today, having our third parliamentary seating. Today, we will be having the crucial discussions and conversations from young perspectives that our country needs even more by the day. To my parliamentarians, I want you to ensure that you understand the journey and the position you hold here. It is one of power and insurmountable impact. You are representing a piece of each wonderful section of our country. So do it with dignity, integrity, because it is inarguably deserved. To our viewers, please tune in and listen to what is being spoken in this room today. Absorb it, process it, discuss it. We must never fear knowledge as a nation, especially when it's presented as the future of our nation. So again, thank you all for being here, and let us now allow these young voices, these youthful voices, these empowered voices to be unlocked. As many, the chair recognizes the honorable member for Mount Mariah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pleasant good morning. And good morning to the members of the gallery. I'm not as energetic as the member for Garden Hills this morning. I didn't take 2 shots of espresso. But, Mr. Speaker, I stand once again in this House on behalf of the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and, by extension, the people of the great constituency of Mount Moriah. We stand today at a pivotal moment in human history, an era where technology is no longer something separate from us, but something deeply woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are no longer futuristic aspects reserved for science fiction. They are active forces shaping how we make decisions, how we learn, how we work, and how we govern. The resolution before us recognizes this reality. It acknowledges that AI and ML are transforming the world at a rapid pace, from global communication to governance, from research institutions to private industry. And importantly, it acknowledges that the Bahamas is not exempt from this technological shift. Whether we are ready or not, these tools are already influencing our society. But with opportunity comes responsibility. The integration of AI into government and academic institutions open doors for innovation and efficiency. Imagine public service delivered with greater speed and accuracy, because God knows we need it. Imagine educational systems enhanced by personalized learning tools. Imagine data-driven policy making that helps us solve national challenges most effectively. These possibilities are real and they're within our reach. Yet, this resolution does not shy away from the truth. Emerging technologies bring significant risks, data privacy concerns, widespread misinformation, the potential loss for traditional jobs, and even entire employment sectors. If we do not manage these risks carefully, we can find ourselves with systems that undermine the very values we seek to protect. And so, this resolution wisely reminds us of an important safeguard already in place, the Data Protection Privacy of Personal Information Act, 2003. This law sets the foundation of how personal data must be collected, stored, and used in the Bahamas. It is a critical mechanism to ensure that as AI systems grow more powerfully and widespread, the rights and the privacy of Bahamian citizens are not sacrificed. But laws alone are not enough, Mr. Speaker. It is not enough to simply adopt new technologies. We must adopt them responsibly. We must integrate them in a way that honors transparency, fairness, and accountability. That is why the call to debate in this resolution is so important. We, the members of this National Youth Assembly, are being asked to examine the opportunities and challenges of AI, not from a distance, but directly. We're being asked to integrate the algorithms and the techniques that power these systems. We're being asked to scrutinize how they may shape government processes, education, and the social fabric of our country and communities. And even more importantly, Mr. Speaker, we are being asked to imagine solutions. The final clause of the resolution calls upon us to consider how the Bahamas can harness the benefits of AI while safeguarding the rights of its citizens. That means thinking beyond the technology itself. It means thinking about how AI interacts with culture, with education, and with legislation, and with the everyday lives of our people. How do we ensure that our use of AI reflects our national values? How do we balance innovation with protection? How do we make sure that these tools empower citizens instead of criminalizing them? How do we ensure that Bahamian identity, Bahamian culture, and Bahamian dignity remain at the center of technological progress? These are questions that this resolution challenges us to confront. Mr. Speaker, this debate is not just about machines. It is about the future we are choosing to build. It is about whether we allow technology to shape us or whether we shape technology to serve the needs of our society. The Bahamas cannot afford to be passive. We cannot wait for these systems to develop elsewhere and hope they work in our favor. We, the young people of this country, must take an active role in defining the digital future of the Bahamas. And so, as we debate this resolution, let us do so with clarity, with wisdom, and with courage. Let us embrace innovation, but never at the expense of our people. Let us welcome progress, but never without protection. Let us champion AI, but always with accountability. For the future is coming whether we prepare for it or not. Let this assembly be the generation that chooses preparation, that chooses responsibility, and that chooses to lead the Bahamas confidently into the age of artificial intelligence. Mr. Speaker, Mariah yields the floor.
Thank you, Honourable Member. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member Pinewood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And a very pleasant good morning to our distinguished guests and, of course, my fellow youth parliamentarians. For it is truly an honor to stand in this honorable House once again as the proud youth parliamentarian for the resilient, hardworking, and united community of Pinewood Gardens. For there comes a time in every nation's story when progress knocks on the door, not softly, not when the time is right, but boldly. Today, that is called artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the language of the future, the engine of innovation, and the heartbeat of a new digital world. However, sometimes progress can bring fear. Many Bahamians worry, will artificial intelligence replace our jobs? Will it threaten livelihoods or take the place of real people in industries that rely on human skill and care? These fears are real and they are valid. So allow me to confront these fears head on. What artificial intelligence can do is assist, enhance, and support the work that we do. But I recognize that it can never be us. One way to do that in improving this legislation is through ethical safeguards. When we look at the Data Protection Bill of 2003, it sets the stage for protecting the information of every Bahamian. Now, the Data Protection Bill of 2025 strengthens that same protection for the new age of artificial intelligence. It ensures that our personal information is used responsibly, transparently, and for the consistent use of AI that wouldn't affect us in a negative way. It guarantees accountability for those who misuse data and provides Bahamians with confidence to embrace innovation without fear. For I want the Bahamian people to know that their voices will not be drowned out by innovation, but instead they will shape it. Now, as I read through this bill, I didn't look at it just to read, but I read it to understand. And understanding this bill, I saw the future of our very nation. And I can proudly say, Mr. Speaker, it looks like a bright one. I agree with this law because I agree with aligning our laws with digital innovation. And it is clear, because I agree that the idea of businesses benefit from this law when companies know the legal landscape is clear. I I agree this bill is not about regulation or for the sake of regulation. Rather, it is about building trust between people, institutions, and technology. But, Mr. Speaker, we must not let technology make us lazy, because we are a people known for our work ethic. Progress demands participation, and the purpose of artificial intelligence is not for AI to think for us, but it is to push us to think smarter, work more efficiently, and dream bigger. When our youth understand how to code, how to analyze data, and how to use AI ethically, they become the architects of their own future and not bystanders in someone else's revolution. For every human life in our nation has a different story. So we must write our own books. And Mr. Speaker, in those books, AI is not here to erase that Bahamian spirit. It is here to elevate it. It is here to help the single mother with her online business. It is here to help that student find new ways to learn, and the entrepreneur expand from a local market to a global one. But for this to happen, we must guide technology with wisdom, integrity, and care, ensuring that it serves for the people and not the other way around. So as we stand on the edge of this new digital future, let us not be driven by fear, but by faith. Not just any kind of faith, but faith in our people, faith in our laws, and faith in our abilities to shape the very future that we want. Mr. Speaker, let us, youth parliamentarians, let us move forward boldly, knowing that artificial intelligence, when used responsibly, can be the tools that helps the Bahamas to continue to rise, not just into a smarter nation, but a stronger, fairer, and more connected one. So that when the future is calling, we would be able to answer and rise to the occasion. Mr. Speaker, the great constituency of Pinewood rests.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think a lot of us should really take that statement and let it prick our hearts, right? Create our own books, write our own books. It's beautiful words. Thank you, Honorable Member. All right. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Isles.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, and Bahamas. Artificial intelligence is the new buzzword of the century, and rightfully so. From self-driving cars and virtual assistants to smart classrooms and predictive healthcare, AI and machine learning are reshaping the world around us, and the Bahamas should not be left behind. The question before this honorable assembly is not whether the Bahamas will adapt these technologies, but how we will do so, responsibly, ethically, and inclusively. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the integration of AI and machine learning into government operations and academic institutions offers our nation a rare opportunity for modernization. Imagine an education system where teachers use AI tools to personalize learning, where a struggling student can get the tailored lessons to strengthen their weak areas, and while advanced learners are inspired to reach new heights. Many nations are integrating AI into public administration, and the systems that they have in place can reduce red tape, cut processing times, and make government services more efficient and transparent. The European country of Albania, for instance, has implemented the first AI system in the world to be named a cabinet-level governmental role in this January. Delia, the name of the system, provides citizens and businesses with access to a wide range of online administrative services and responds to citizens' questions by guiding them to the correct service. And by mid-2025, the system had facilitated access to more than 36,000 documents and nearly 1,000 services with the help of the e-Albania backstaff. Our Caribbean sister, Barbados, has already begun exploring AI-driven tourism analytics to enhance visitor experiences. If they can innovate, why not us, Mr. Speaker? The Bahamas can use AI to streamline security, improve climate forecasting, and even combat financial crimes, areas all vital to our national development. However, Mr. Speaker, every opportunity comes with responsibility. AI systems are only as fair as the data that they are trained on. If biased data goes in, biased results will come out, potentially affecting hiring, education access, or even how resources are distributed. We must therefore ensure that fairness and transparency are not afterthoughts, but foundations to our approach. Moreover, we cannot ignore the issue of data privacy. The Data Protection Act of 2003 has already provided the legal framework. But, Mr. Speaker, this law was written before the age of algorithms and automation. We must now evolve to protect Bahamians from digital exploitation, from our personal data being mined, sold, or used to influence our opinions without our consent. Today, every time a Bahamian student uses an online platform, every time a public servant enters data into a digital system, or every time a citizen clicks accept on a mobile app, information is being collected, sometimes without full awareness of where it goes or how it's used. This is a new frontier of digital exploitation. Around the world, we have seen the consequences of unregulated data use. In 2018, The Guardian revealed that the Cambridge Analytica had harvested millions of Facebook profiles to influence political outcomes, proof that data can be weaponized. UNESCO's 2023 report on disinformation and AI has warned that algorithmic systems can amplify false information and manipulate public opinion. And the Human Rights Watch has documented how in parts of China, AI surveillance tools have been used to track citizens and predict their behavior. A chilling reminder of how easily privacy can be eroded when ethics are ignored. The Bahamas cannot allow such practices to take root here. Mr. Speaker, our people's data are not a product to be traded. It is a right to be protected. When AI becomes more integrated into governmental systems, our laws reflect the realities of this digital age. This means establishing a clearer standards for consent, stronger penalties for breaches of privacy, greater transparency on how data is processed by both public and private entities. We can also consider the creation of a National Digital Ethics Commission, an independent body tasked with overseeing how AI systems can use personal data, ensuring that they align with our constitutional rights and national values. In short, Mr. Speaker, while innovation can move fast, the law must move faster. A modern Bahamas requires modern protections. Our citizens deserve to live in a digital world that is not only smart, but also safe. We must also confront the social and economic implications. Automation can displace certain jobs, especially in administrative and manual sectors. But instead of fearing the change, let us prepare for it, because AI is not the be-all, end-all. Let us retrain and reskill our workforce. Let us empower our young people to become creators of technology, not just consumers of it. Our schools must teach digital literacy, ethics, and critical thinking, ensuring that Bahamians are not left behind in a future run by algorithms. Partnerships between government, academia, and the private sector can establish AI research hubs and innovation centers that will drive national progress while upholding Bahamian values. Mr. Speaker, as I close, artificial intelligence is not the enemy of human intelligence. It is merely its extension. We can make our systems smarter, our decisions faster, and our government more efficient, but only if we guide it with wisdom, integrity, and foresight. So as we debate this resolution, let us move boldly but wisely into this new frontier. Let us move forward, not with fear, but with purpose. Let us ensure that the Bahamas does not stand on the sidelines of innovation, but becomes a leader in responsible AI, one who uses technology not just to make life easier, but to make it fairer and smarter. Because, Mr. Speaker, the real intelligence of a nation lies not within its machines, but in the vision of its people. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. As many, Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Seabreeze.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished members of the National Youth Assembly, and guests, good morning. We stand at a critical juncture in history, one defined by the rapid and transformative rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning. The resolution on artificial intelligence rightly calls on us to debate the opportunities and challenges associated with the use of AI within government and academic systems across the Bahamas. I speak in strong affirmation of this resolution. We must embrace the future, but we must do so with our laws firmly in place. The first resolution mandates that we acknowledge the immense opportunities and challenges associated with the development and use of artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, methodologies, and technologies being implemented within government and academic systems. Mr. Speaker, to address both the opportunities and challenges, we must first understand what we are implementing. According to the Oxford Dictionary, artificial intelligence is the application of computer systems able to perform tasks or produce output normally requiring human intelligence, especially by applying machine learning techniques to large collections of data. While machine learning is defined as the use and development of computer systems that are able to learn and adapt without following explicit instructions. The integration of AI into public administration promises streamlining services, optimizing resource allocation, and delivering better outcomes for citizens. While innovation in academics personalized learning, enhancing research capabilities, and preparing our students for the global future economy. However, as we implement these systems in the core functions of our society, how we govern and how we educate, we confront the core challenges outlined in the resolution: data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the potential for technological misuse. It is the Be It Further Resolved clause that provides our national compass, the mandate to harness these technologies while actively safeguarding citizens' rights through comprehensive legislative measures. Our first and most powerful line of defense is the principles being enshrined in the Data Protection Bill 2025. This bill is the vital legal mechanism that will govern how sensitive information is handled by every AI system in our public and academic spheres. Mr. Speaker, we must demand that all government and academic systems adhere strictly to the new data protection principles, as failure to do so results in statutory offenses. Specifically, any AI system operating in the Bahamas must be legally bound to fairness, outlined in Clause 7. To combat the algorithmic bias, we cite the principle that personal data should be processed fairly and lawfully. And crucially, personal data shall not be processed so as to result in discrimination on the sole bias of the automated processing of personal data. It must be bound to transparency. In Clause 8, data controllers must ensure the processing of personal data is transparent in relation to the data subject, meaning citizens and students must always know when an AI system is making a decision about them and have the right to challenge it. Data security, outlined in Clause 11. This mandates that data controllers must take appropriate technical and organizational measures to ensure that personal data is secured against unauthorized or unlawful processing and accidental loss, damage, or destruction. This is paramount when dealing with large, sensitive data sets used for AI training. Without these explicit guardrails, the convenience of AI quickly devolves into a threat to individual liberty. The safeguard of citizens' rights requires more than just legislation. It demands active technological and educational stewardship, fully supported by the bill's principles and the enforcement body established in Part 3. Technologically and for oversight, we must demand systems that are resilient against the risks of misinformation. This oversight role is clearly defined in Clause 15, which mandates the Commissioner to monitor and enforce compliance with the provisions of this Act. Educationally and socially, we must launch national initiatives for digital literacy. The responsibility for this is already enshrined in the bill, once again under Clause 15, which tasks the Commissioner to conduct public education programs to promote data protection awareness. We must empower every Bahamian, from primary school students to public servants, to understand how AI works, how their data is used, and how to spot bias or deepfakes. We must turn the potential displacement of traditional employment into an opportunity for boosting and future-proofing our workforce. Mr. Speaker, to vote yes on this resolution is to commit to a proactive, responsible, and ethical approach to technological progress. It is a commitment to not repeating the mistakes of other nations who adopted technology first and asked questions later. I urge this Assembly to strongly support the Be It Further Resolved clause and ensure that our nation's future is one defined by opportunity, integrity, and the unwavering protection of our people. Mr. Speaker.
As many, and thank you, Honourable Member. Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Central and South Eleuthera.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my fellow youth parliamentarians and proud people of our nation, good morning. Mr. Speaker, we are living in an era where machines no longer just follow commands. They think, they learn, and they create. Artificial intelligence is not just a distant dream of the future. It is the heartbeat of the present. This is why I agree to the highest extent with the moot. From classrooms to boardrooms, from hospitals to households, AI is reshaping the world around us. And so, as the young visionaries of the Bahamas, our task is not to decide whether to embrace artificial intelligence, but how to harness it responsibly, wisely, and for the advancement of our people and our nation. The combination of AI and machine learning offers an exciting opportunity to make our country a bigger and brighter Bahamas in numerous ways. It thus improves government services to become more efficient, transparent, and accessible to all citizens. Think of AI systems that decrease waiting times, make record-keeping easier, and have Bahamians more easily access vital services. In this respect, this innovation can also boost accountability, raise the quality of decision-making, and otherwise enhance the provision of public services. Artificial intelligence and machine learning can transform the way our students learn, our teachers teach, and research is conducted in our schools. AI can personalize lessons to meet each student's learning style, provide real-time insights for teachers, and enable researchers to analyze information faster than ever before. Such innovations can foster creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking among the nation's youth. However, Mr. Speaker, with great opportunity comes great responsibility. With the introduction of AI, challenges arise, such as issues regarding data privacy, misinformation, algorithmic bias, and even the risk of job displacement, if not well managed. These could widen inequalities or lead to misuse of technology. This is why I believe that the solution lies in strong policy, education, and accountability. The Data Protection Bill 2025 provides a clear foundation for privacy and ethical data. use by ensuring that all processing of personal information follows the principles of transparency, fairness, and security. We must prioritize digital literacy in our schools so that young Bahamians understand not only how to use AI, but how to use it wisely. And we must, as a nation, invest in training and upscaling our workforce so Bahamians can thrive in an AI-driven economy rather than being replaced by it. Combined, these will make certain that artificial intelligence emerges as a tool of empowerment and not of exclusion, moving toward a future where Bahamian ingenuity and integrity go hand in glove. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Central Grand Bahama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, fellow youth parliamentarians, Bahamians, good morning. Mr. Speaker, I do not take for granted being able to stand before you today as an active voice for the resilient people of Central Grand Bahama and the Bahamas at large. The youth voices you hear today are not artificial. They are real, they are alive, and they are active and unlocked. Our communities are the definition of strength, innovation, and the power of development. Today, we stand at the edge of a new frontier, one not defined by land or sea, but by data, algorithms, and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are no longer distant concepts. They are here, now, shaping our world. From the way we learn in classrooms to how governments provide services, AI is truly transforming our lives. For a small island nation, the Bahamas often leads and pioneers globally, and in this same instance, you must not be a passive observer. You must be active architects and shapers of this transformation. Mr. Speaker, Lee Iacocca once said, and I quote, "We are continually faced by great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as insoluble problems. This encapsulates the idea that challenges and difficulties often hold opportunities for growth and success. On the contrary, as Bahamians, let us not be blinded by just the benefits of this bill, but rather pause to recognize that with innovation comes immense responsibility. AI systems are only as fair as the data they are trained on. If the data is biased, the outcomes will be biased. If that data is misused, then our privacy is compromised. And if we do not act now, we risk building a future where technology outspaces our values. The Bahamas Data Protection Bill 2025 is a bold step forward, bringing our data protection laws into the 21st century. It recognizes that in the digital world, our personal information is as valuable as our land, our culture, and our national security. Under this new bill, Bahamians will have the right to know how their data is collected, stored, and utilized. It establishes rules for both the government and private agents. It introduces stronger penalties for data breaches and misuse. And most importantly, it creates an independent data protection commissioner to ensure accountability and transparency. Mr. Speaker, this bill is more than just protecting data. It is securing the future. It is about ensuring that when AI is used in government, it serves every citizen and not just the most connected. It is about ensuring that as we modernize, we do not marginalize. As a youth parliamentarian for Central Grand Bahama, I know firsthand the importance of inclusion, modernization, and advancement. Our communities have faced numerous hurricanes, economic shifts, and digital divides. We cannot afford to be left behind in this technological revolution. So what must we do? First, we must invest in digital literacy across every island of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, as every Bahamian deserves to understand their digital rights and how to protect them. Second, we must ensure that AI systems used in government are transparent, ethical, and accountable. We need to also establish clear standards and regular audits to prevent misuse. And third,
We must empower our youth to be creators and not just consumers. Let us support coding programs, innovation, and partnerships with universities to build a generation of Bahamian AI and technological leaders. And finally, we must ensure that our laws, like this data protection bill, are not just tabled and passed, but adequately enforced, as a law is only as strong as a commitment to uphold it. Mr. Speaker, the future is not something we enter into. It is something we create. Create a future where technology serves humanity, where innovation is guided by integrity, and where every Bahamian across this beautiful nation has a voice in this digital age. Let us lead with vision, let us legislate with wisdom, and let us rise to move forward, upward, onward, and together into the future where our national interest is protected and our people are secure. And may God continue to bless and cover the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you, Honourable Member. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Bain and Grantstown.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, resilient and flaptacular people of Bain and Grantstown. Mr. Speaker, I just want to say before I begin, I am so grateful to God to be inside a room with such brilliant young people to hear what they said today. Let me begin with this question. How can a nation move forward if it fears the future? How can it survive if it walks into the future unprepared? That, Mr. Speaker, is the balance we face with artificial intelligence. It is no longer a dream of tomorrow. It is the heartbeat of today. And whether we like it or not, AI is reshaping how we work, how we learn, and even how we think. AI can make our public services more efficient, especially the passport officers, government officers that actually anticipate citizens' needs. But, Mr. Speaker, progress without protection is a danger disguised as development. That is why the Data Protection Bill 2025 matters, because it builds a shield around Bahamians. Simply saying, mind the business that pays you. This Data Protection Bill gives citizens control over their data, the right to know what's collected, to correct what's wrong, and to demand deletion when it's no longer needed. And, Mr. Speaker, let me make it clear that I agree with this resolution. It doesn't reject technology, but it doesn't put it on a pedestal either. It finds a common ground, progress with protection, innovation with integrity. As a youth parliamentarian for Bain and Grantstown, I see how access to information can change lives. AI gives our young people opportunities like scholarships and entrepreneurship ideas, but only if we equip them with the digital literacy to use it wisely. This resolution is not about technology, it's about trust. Trust between the people and their government. Trust that when innovation comes, their privacy, their dignity, and their rights come with it. Mr. Speaker, when I mentioned AI to my grandfather, he said the only AI I knew is ain't interested. He said if it can't be licked, it can't be controlled. Mr. Speaker, my generation lives online. We don't just scroll, we are shaped by what we see. But that means we are also vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, there's a saying that the eyes are the gateway to the soul. Just let that sink in. AI can be a bridge or it can be a weapon. It can connect communities or it can divide them with misinformation and bias. That is why I support the resolution, because it ensures that the Bahamas leads with wisdom, not wonder. We must teach our people that technology is not magic, it's a tool. That's the reason why we have so much Google doctors. And like any tool, it can build, thank you for that. Like any tool, it can build or break depending on who uses it. The bill creates framework for a digital Bahamas rooted in justice and accountability. It says to the world, yes, we will embrace the future, but we will do so on Bahamian terms. Terms that protect our people, respect our data, and empower our youth. For the student in Woodcock Primary dreaming of a tech career. For the mother on Meadow Street using digital banking to save her first dollar. For the small business like Dirty's Chicken learning to market online, this resolution is hope in policy form. Mr. Speaker, the future is knocking, and the Bahamas must answer with confidence, not confusion. Let us not fear artificial intelligence, but guide it with intelligence, wisdom, compassion, and foresight. So yes, Mr. Speaker, I support this resolution. I support because I believe in a Bahamas that is not left behind by progress, but lifted by it. A Bahamas that embraces the data, but never forgets its people. A Bahamas that leads with innovation, but never forgets the people behind the data. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. A lot of good nuggets in there, especially that Google Doctor thing. A lot of people think they know a lot when they type in some things. All right? As many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Ingliston.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, fellow Bahamians, good morning.
Good morning.
I rise today on behalf of the proud and resilient people of Ingliston, a community that has always stood at the crossroads of tradition and transformation. We have long been the heartbeat of innovation, from the hands that built this nation to the minds now shaping its digital future. Today, we stand before a new frontier, artificial intelligence, not as spectators, but as active participants in shaping how it serves our people. AI is not a distant dream of Silicon Valley. It is here in the Bahamas, quietly influencing the way we learn, the way we serve, and the way we live. But it's time to make it loud, to bring AI from the margins of curiosity to the center of national development. Imagine walking into a government office in Ingliston or anywhere in this country, and instead of waiting for hours, an AI-powered virtual assistant helps you renew your driver's license or apply for a business permit in minutes. We've seen this model work in countries like Estonia. However, we currently have that in the Bahamas today with EV, simplified lending, which is an AI humanoid loan officer currently being used, making financial services smooth, quick, and efficient. We see this in countries like Estonia, where citizens can complete most government transactions online in under 10 minutes. If they can't, why can't we? AI can streamline vehicle licensing, improve ticket issuing, and even predict traffic flow to reduce congestion on our streets. I'm sure most of us can relate to driving simply on the roads of the United States, and when you reach here, you get a bill for $350, and you are unaware from driving through a toll. That is currently the plate recognition using artificial intelligence. In our classrooms, AI can transform how we teach and how we learn. Picture this. A student in Ingliston who struggles with math receives personalized lessons from an AI tutor, adapting in real time to strengthen their weaknesses. Platforms like Khan Academy already use AI tools to give every child their own digital tutor. Why can't Bahamian students have that same access? Whether in Ingliston, Inagua, or Abaco, this is not about replacing teachers. It's about empowering them, freeing educators from the repetitive grading so they can focus on mentorship and creativity, while every student gets the support they deserve. Let us also be clear, AI is not only about convenience. It's about safety. AI-driven surveillance and predictive analytics are being used in countries like Singapore to help reduce crime by identifying high-risk areas before incidents occurs. And I've also learned today that we currently have the shot spotters that are attached to street light poles, in Nassau. However, this infrastructure must be maintained. Imagine if our police departments had real-time insights that help them prevent rather than react. AI could even assist in analyzing license plates to track stolen vehicles or flag suspicious patterns in digital financial crimes, helping protect citizens before harm is done. Of course, with great innovation must come great responsibility. The Data Protection Act of 2003 already gives us a strong legal foundation, but we must ensure that every algorithm used in the Bahamas operates with transparency, fairness, and accountability. AI must never become a tool of exclusion or bias. It must be a force of equality, bridging the gap between the connected and the forgotten. Mr. Speaker, Engliston is not afraid of the future. We are ready to embrace it, responsibly, creatively, and boldly. Let us create AI training centers for our youth where tomorrow's coders, analysts, and entrepreneurs can rise from our communities, not just to consume technology, but to create it. Let us build a national AI strategy that ensures no one is left behind, where innovation is guided by compassion and technology that serves humanity. So today, I say this: the future is not waiting for us. It is learning, adapting, and evolving every second, every click, and every code. The question is, will we shape it, or will we let it shape us? For Engliston, for the Bahamas, and for generations yet to come, let us choose to shape it. Let us choose to lead. Let us choose to embrace AI for the people, by the people, through the people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member. Oh, sorry, going ahead of myself. As many. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Fort Charlotte. Bring this down.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members of this esteemed assembly, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and the flourishing constituency of Fort Charlotte. There are moments in human history when the horizon bends, when what once was imagination becomes innovation, when ink becomes code and knowledge becomes power. Today is such a moment. I rise in full support of the Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning Integration Bill, because this is not simply a bill about technology, it is a declaration of readiness. It is the Bahamas saying to the world, we will not watch the future unfold from the sidelines, we will help to write it. Artificial intelligence, Mr. Speaker, is transforming every field of human endeavors. The World Economic Forum projects that AI will add nearly $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030, more than the current GDP of China and India combined. That figure represents not only algorithms and automation, but also opportunity for nations wise enough to prepare their people. This bill ensures the Bahamas is counted among those nations. It balances innovation with integrity, empowering progress, while anchoring it to the Data Protection, Privacy of Personal Information Act of 2003. In an age when data is the new currency, privacy is the new gold. This legislation protects both. However, Mr. Speaker, let us not be naive. AI can mirror human prejudice if unchecked. But the same systems that can learn bias can also learn fairness. This bill mandates algorithmic transparency, ethical oversight, and fairness audits across government and academic institutions. In doing so, it does not simply govern technology, it teaches technology how to govern itself humanely. The PwC Global AI study shows that while 30% of jobs may transform through automation, new fields will emerge, from digital ethics to machine learning governance. This bill positions our young people not as victims of progress, but as the architects of it. It mandates education reform that embeds AI literacy in our curriculum, ensuring Bahamians are not only consumers of technology,
but the creators of it. Imagine, honorable members, a student in Exuma using an AI tutor that adapts to her learning style. Imagine a nurse in Andrus using predictive analytics to determine early signs of illness. Imagine with me, Bahamas, governmental systems that analyze national data to improve healthcare, traffic, or disaster preparedness. This is not tomorrow's dream. It is today's duty. If we fail to act, we risk becoming digital colonies, importing algorithms designed for societies that do not understand our rhythm, our culture, or our values. But if we act boldly through this bill, we claim our digital sovereignty, ensuring that Bahamian data serves Bahamian destiny. Mr. Speaker, progress without principle is perilous, but progress with protection, purpose, and preparation, that is prosperity. This bill is not a warning against change. It is an invitation to lead it. Let us therefore, honorable members, and of course the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, support this legislation, not because it is convenient, but because it is necessary. Let us light the path for a Bahamas that is bold, ethical, and enlightened in its embrace of technology. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable member. Perfectly positioned points. Really nice. Thank you. As many, the chair recognizes the honorable member for Tall Pines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, Mr. Speaker, fellow parliamentarians, and members of the gallery. I am the proud representative for the constituency of Tall Pines, and it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today in the third session of the National Youth Assembly of the Bahamas. Mr. Speaker, from the invention of the printing press to the rise of the internet, every generation faces a turning point, a moment that defines the balance between innovation and responsibility. For our generation, that turning point is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is no longer just a fantasy seen in movies. It has arrived. It is transforming our politics, our economy, and our institutions. Today, AI and machine learning are not abstract concepts. They are powerful tools used in everyday life, from voice assistants to algorithms predicting global weather, diagnosing diseases, and even assisting students in the classroom. We, the members of this third session of the National Youth Assembly of the Bahamas, stand today to debate the opportunities and challenges that come with integrating these technologies into our nation's schools and government systems. Mr. Speaker, the Bahamas has a unique opportunity to go boldly into the future by embracing artificial intelligence. In our government systems, AI can revolutionize the way public services are delivered. It can reduce waiting times, automate document processing, and even help leaders make better policy decisions. Imagine a future where an AI-driven government database can automatically identify national trends, highlight inefficiencies, and ensure that citizens receive timely support faster and fairer than ever before. In education, AI can empower teachers to personalize learning experiences. AI-powered tools can identify where students struggle, adapt lessons to each child's learning style, and give Family Island students greater access to online resources. According to a 2024 UNESCO education report, over 60% of schools worldwide are expected to integrate AI-assisted learning by the year 2027. This means that if we fail to act, Bahamian students risk being left behind in a rapidly changing world. AI is not just the future of education, it is the foundation of opportunity. However, Mr. Speaker, with opportunity comes responsibility. These technologies also bring serious concerns about data privacy, algorithmic bias, misinformation, and job displacement. Globally, experts estimate that up to 40% of current jobs could be affected by automation and AI systems by the year 2030, according to the World Economic Forum. That is why this conversation is not about replacing people, but about preparing people, especially our youth, to thrive in an AI-powered world. When an algorithm decides who qualifies for a government grant, or even what news appears on social media, we must ask who controls the code and who protects the people. Without clear regulations, AI could unintentionally deepen inequality or invade privacy. So, Mr. Speaker, it is our duty to ensure that innovation never outruns ethics. Mr. Speaker, the Data Protection Act of 2003 remains our first-line offense. It was designed to safeguard how personal information is collected, stored, and shared, ensuring that privacy, accuracy, and fairness are upheld. These principles align perfectly with ethical AI use. Yet, as technology evolves, so must the law. That is why the Data Protection Bill 2025 strengthens this framework. It creates the Office of Data Protection Commissioner, which monitors how organizations handle personal information. It also gives Bahamians new rights to access their own data, correct errors, and request deletion when data is no longer needed. These rights are essential in an era where a single AI system can process millions of data points every second. Every Bahamian, especially our young generation, must have the power to control how their data is used. So, Mr. Speaker, this Assembly must carefully consider how the Bahamas can harness AI while protecting its citizens. This can be achieved through 5 major measures. Social measures. Launch public awareness campaigns to teach Bahamians how AI works, its benefits, its risks, and how to use it responsibly. Cultural measures. Ensure that AI development reflects Bahamian values, respect, trust, and community. Technology should serve people, not replace them. Educational measures. Integrate AI ethics and data protection into national school curricula. Equip our youth not only to use AI, but to design it, regulate it, and lead with it. Technological measures. Strengthen cybersecurity to prevent data breaches, AI misinformation, and identity theft. Legislative measures. Fully enforce and modernize the Data Protection Act to ensure every innovation is guided by fairness, accountability, and transparency. Mr. Speaker, artificial intelligence will transform the Bahamas whether we are ready for it or not. But readiness is not just about computers, it's about character. It's about building a generation of young Bahamians who are digitally skilled, ethically grounded, and globally competitive. If used wisely, AI can help our economy grow, expand access to education, and empower our youth to solve problems of tomorrow. But if left unchecked, it can divide us, misinform us, and exploit us. So, Mr. Speaker, as we innovate, let us also legislate. As we build, let us also protect. And as we embrace the future, let us ensure that technology serves humanity, not the other way around. The Bahamas must move forward with courage, care, and conviction, guided by the principles of data protection, equality, and trust. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Chair recognizes, as many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Southern Shores.
Good morning.
Mr.
Speaker.
One moment. Honourable members, if you guys have to come, you guys have to go over there, you can just step back. We don't want overcrowding, so just stay there. If you have to go. Oh, okay, no problem. Boy, I tell you.
Take my seat.
Has many? The chair recognizes the honorable member for Southern Shores.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Good morning, fellow honorable members. How are you doing today? Before I begin, I just want to say we're going to just say a special prayer in our hearts for all our members of Parliament to keep our minds, to keep our bodies and souls well. As for artificial intelligence, in an age when bits and bytes carry as much weight as bricks and mortar, the Bahamas stands at the threshold of a digital dawn. As we've heard, artificial intelligence and machine learning are no longer distant concepts. They are rapidly defining how governments, businesses, and schools operate. For the Bahamas, they represent an extraordinary opportunity for modernization, but also a serious responsibility to ensure our citizens are ready to benefit and not be left behind. AI can enhance efficiency across every sector. It can strengthen our healthcare system to predict disease trends, enable agencies to analyze data in real time, and personalize learning for students across the archipelago. Yet, as these systems rely heavily on personal data, they also raise questions about privacy, bias, and accountability. The recently introduced Data Protection Bill of 2025 addresses these challenges by repealing the outdated 2003 Act and creating a modern framework to regulate how data is collected, processed, and stored. The bill emphasizes fairness, consent, transparency, and security as guiding principles. It establishes an independent office of the Data Protection Commission to monitor compliance, educate, and enforce the law. It also grants Bahamians a new right, such as the ability to access, correct, or erase their own data and information, ensuring our people remain in control of their lives. This legislation is not simply a technical reform, it is an ethical commitment to protect the dignity and privacy of every citizen. However, Madam Deputy Speaker, while this framework targets innovation, its impact will be limited if our population is not prepared for a digital economy. According to the Bahamas National Statistical Institute in 2022, about 87% of Bahamians own a mobile phone, yet only 60% use the internet regularly for work, business, or education. That means nearly 2 out of every Bahamian remain disconnected from the technology shaping the future. Computer and information technology classes in our public and private schools must therefore be proactive in this new digital dawn. We have aspiring professionals, and even many in the workforce, who are unable to send emails, create or edit documents, videos, flyers, conduct proper online research beyond the Facebook scrolling, or navigate essential digital platforms. That reality should concern every policymaker in this chamber. The government's DigiLearn Bahamas program, launched in September, aims to train over 7,000 citizens in essential digital skills. But that represents less than 2% of our national population. We are advancing technologically, but not educationally. Humans, and hear me clearly, humans have always feared what we do not understand. And Mr. Speaker, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Bahamian people are no different. If our people cannot manage the tools the world now uses, we risk widening socioeconomic divides and eroding public trust in innovation. That is why this conversation must not begin with machines, but with minds. We need a national digital literacy reskill initiative to train public servants, educators, and working professionals in the use of AI-driven systems. This must include workshops in data ethics, cybersecurity, and algorithmic transparency, so that Bahamians are not only consumers of technology, but as we've heard before, they are contributing, they are redefining what AI really is on a Bahamian 242 platform. Alongside this, I propose a National AI Ethics Committee to work with the Data Protection Commissioner in evaluating how AI is deployed within our public sector. This body would review algorithms used in education, policing, and healthcare to ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability. Madam Deputy Speaker, the Bahamas currently ranks 83rd on the United Nations E-Government Development Index, performing strongly in online government sources, with developments such as the My Gateway portal, but scoring low in human capital capacity. That statistic underscores our challenge. The technology is arriving faster than the training and use it responsibly. We cannot legislate the innovation without cultivating the understanding. The success of any digital policy will depend on our citizens' ability to engage with it confidently. Artificial intelligence may drive efficiency, but only human intelligence can guarantee equity. Therefore, as we debate this resolution, let us remember that innovation is not merely about building smarter systems. It is about building smarter, more prepared people. True national development requires stewardship, the thoughtful management of knowledge, technology, and opportunity. Madam Deputy Speaker, the intelligence may be artificial, but wisdom must remain human. If we are to build a Bahamian future, we must do so with both mind and heart, embracing change, and I mean real change, while ensuring that every citizen from Grand Bahama to Inagua has skills to share in its promise. Thank you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. And thank you so much for the prayer as well. As many? The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for North Andros and the Berry Islands.
In the words of Greek philosopher, the only thing that is constant is change. Madam Deputy Speaker, honorable members of the National Youth Assembly, and to the wonderful people of North Andros and the Berry Islands, a pleasant morning. Today we rise to expound on a resolution that touches the very core of our nation's future. The development, deployment, and regulation of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies in the Bahamas. This is not just a conversation about algorithms and automation. It is about how the Bahamas will embrace innovation without compromising the rights and integrity of its people. Madam Deputy Speaker, around the world, AI and machine learning are transforming industries, from healthcare and finance to education and public administration. In the Bahamas, the integration of these technologies presents immense opportunities for efficiency, modernization, and innovation. Imagine AI-driven analytics helping our government predict economic trends, chatbots improving public service deliveries, and adaptive learning systems enhancing education in our family islands. When used responsibly, AI can help us solve national challenges, improving healthcare access, modernizing agriculture, and even assisting in climate change by predicting hurricanes or coastal changes. But for AI to truly serve the Bahamian people. It must be implemented ethically, transparently, and inclusively. The resolution before us also acknowledges the serious risks that comes with these emerging technologies. Data privacy breaches, algorithmic bias, misinformation, and the potential displacement of jobs. These are not distant possibilities. They are present realities in the global AI landscape. An AI system trained on biased data can unfairly deny opportunities, misclassify individuals, or make decisions that harm vulnerable groups. And so, Madam Deputy Speaker, as we embrace technological progress, we must ensure that human judgment and moral responsibility remain at the heart of every algorithm. Our nation's foundation for protecting personal data was laid with the Data Protection Act 2003, which came into effect in 2007. That law was visionary for its time, ensuring that personal information collected by government or businesses was treated fairly, lawfully, and securely. However, the world of 2025 is far more complex. AI systems now process massive data sets and learn from human behavior in real time. Our 2003 framework, though valuable, cannot fully address the demands of this new technological era. This is why the drafted Data Protection Bill of 2025 represents a bold and necessary step forward. This proposed legislation aims to strengthen penalties for data misuse and unauthorized disclosure, introduces mandatory data breach notifications, enhances individuals' rights to know how their data is being used, especially in AI systems, and establishes clearer guidelines for algorithmic accountability and fairness. This bill will modernize how the Bahamas regulates AI and data-driven systems, ensuring they align with global best practices like the EU's GDPR and CARICOM's privacy standards. Madam Deputy Speaker, the challenge before us is balance. How to innovate without violating trust. To achieve that, the Bahamas must commit to 3 pillars of responsible AI governance: transparency and accountability, education and capacity building, and inclusion and fairness. The resolution calls on us to explore both the opportunities and the safeguards surrounding AI. We should imagine a future where AI helps the government to detect financial fraud and inefficiencies. Predictive analytics strengthen our tourism strategy. Machine learning supports teachers with personalized learning tools, and citizens trust that their data, their digital footprint, is safe under the protection of strong legislation, like the upcoming Data Protection Bill of 2025. This is not just about technology. It is about national progress. It is about ensuring that our digital transformation leaves no Bahamian behind. We must welcome AI, not as a replacement for human capability, but as an extension of it, guided by our values of transparency, accountability, and respect for privacy. Let us support this resolution with the understanding that innovation must walk hand in hand with protection. And let us urge that as the 2025 Data Protection Bill moves closer to enactment, it fully addresses the ethical and regulatory challenges of artificial intelligence in the Bahamas. Because, Madam Deputy Speaker, the future of technology is not just about smarter machines. It's about a smarter, fairer, and more empowered Bahamian people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. As many? The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Nassau Village.
Madam Deputy Speaker, before I begin, I extend my deepest thoughts and prayers to the people and the government of Jamaica and Cuba as they recover from the devastating impact of Hurricane Melissa. This Youth Parliament stands firmly with you in solidarity and support. I also offer my sincerest gratitude to the people of Nassau Village for the honor of representing you in this honorable House. Madam Deputy Speaker, please permit me to adopt the established protocol. Madam Deputy Speaker, across the world, nations are racing to harness the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies that not too long ago only belonged in science fiction. Today, they are reshaping economies, redefining education, and reimagining how governments serve their people. According to data provided by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, projects by 2030, AI can add over $15 trillion to the global economy. Here in our region, the Inter-American Development Bank projects that digital transformation could boost Caribbean economies by as much as 5% if implemented wisely. Now, the Bahamas may be small in population, but we are big in vision. We have the opportunity to ride this digital wave and not be washed away by it. Madam Deputy Speaker, AI presents tremendous opportunities for us right here at home. In healthcare, it can help detect diseases early. In the United States, hospitals use AI to detect diseases such as pancreatic cancer much earlier, cutting diagnosis times in half. Imagine that here in the Bahamas, faster, smarter healthcare that helps our doctors to save more lives. In education, adaptive learning systems can personalize lessons, ensuring that a student in Cat Island learns at the same pace as one in Nassau. In public administration, artificial intelligence can streamline government services, cut red tape, and maybe, just maybe, shorten lines at the passport office and many of our burdened government agencies. But, Deputy Speaker, for every bright opportunity, there's also a shadow. AI depends on data, and when that data includes personal information, we must protect Bahamian privacy with vigilance. We cannot allow algorithms designed in foreign labs determine how Bahamians are treated in their own country. That is why we must ensure that any use of artificial intelligence within our government system or academic system fully aligns with the Data Protection Act of 2003, which safeguards the privacy, dignity, and rights of every Bahamian citizen. So, how do we move forward wisely? Socially, we must create public awareness campaigns that help our people understand AI, not fear it, but engage with it responsibly and respectfully. Culturally, we should develop AI solutions that reflect Bahamian values, fairness, and respect. Educationally, we must invest in digital literacy and coding programs from primary school straight to tertiary education, preparing our young people for the jobs of tomorrow. Technologically, it has proven to yield positive results. Countries like Vietnam have already proven the model by creating a national AI research innovation hub that has begun to train homegrown talent to develop customized AI solutions for local economy. If we establish a similar hub here in the Bahamas, we can empower our people, diversify our economy, beyond tourism, and position ourselves as a regional tech innovator. Now, from a legislative standpoint, this Parliament should review and modernize the Data Protection Act, ensuring that strong, ethical, and transparent oversight of all artificial intelligence use across the public and private sectors are regulated to the highest of standards. Madam Deputy Speaker, artificial intelligence is neither friend nor foe. It is our next great tool. But like a goat skin drum, it only produces harmony when played by skilled, disciplined hands. Madam Deputy Speaker, let us be those hands, shaping a digital future that empowers, protects, and uplifts every Bahamian citizen. If we do this right, we won't just adapt to the future, we'll define it. And we'll do it the Bahamian way, with wisdom, integrity, and a good old touch of island flair. Madam Deputy Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Killarney.
Madam Deputy Speaker, parliamentary colleagues, good morning. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to extend warm birthday wishes to Dame Janet Bostwick, a true pioneer for women in politics and a trailblazer whose courage and leadership has opened doors for many young Bahamians like myself. Dame Janet, we thank you for your service, your example, and your unwavering belief that women are not just in the conversation, but at the decision-making table. Madam Deputy, every swipe, every click, every search is shaping our tomorrow, whether we guide it or not. I rise today as the Youth Member of Parliament for Killarney, proud to represent a generation that lives at the intersection of innovation and imagination. A generation that scrolls, swipes, and speaks to the future every single day. Madam Deputy, artificial intelligence, or AI, is no longer science fiction. It's in our phones, our schools, our hospitals, and even our government systems. It helps us track hurricanes, improve healthcare, and make public services faster and more efficient. But with every great leap forward comes a greater question. How do we use technology to serve people and not replace them? That's the heart of today's resolution. Madam Deputy, AI is powerful, but power without protection is dangerous. When algorithms decide who gets hired, what news we see, and how our personal data is used, we must ask, who is watching the machines? That's why the Data Protection Bill 2025 could not have come at a better time. It reminds us that while data drives technology, trust must drive leadership. This bill gives Bahamians control over their personal information, the right to know how it's used, the right to erase it, and the right to simply say no. It creates a commissioner whose job is not to slow progress, but to safeguard privacy and to ensure that innovation never comes at the cost of human dignity. Madam Deputy, we've all heard the saying, with great power comes greater responsibility. Well, in this digital age, with great data comes great accountability. Now, let's be honest. AI can change everything, but if we're not careful, it can also change us. Bias in algorithms can reinforce discrimination, automation can threaten jobs, and unchecked surveillance can quietly turn freedom into control. So what should the Bahamas do? I believe we must anchor our AI journey on 3 pillars. Firstly, education. Let's prepare our young people not just to use technology, but to understand it. Every student should have the chance to learn coding, data literacy, and digital ethics. Because the future will not belong to those who can memorize facts. It will belong to those who can teach the machines what's fair and what's right. Second, regulation. Let's create systems that keep technology accountable. The Data Protection Bill ensures that no company or agency can exploit Bahamian data without consent. It says clearly, you may use our information, but only with our permission. And third, innovation. Let's not just consume global technology, let's create Bahamian technology. We can already see that happening with LawBay, an emerging AI platform designed right here in the Bahamas to provide general information about Bahamian law. LawBay shows us that we can build AI that understands our people, our systems, and our needs. Now, imagine that kind of creativity using AI to predict flooding in Abaco, improve hospital wait times, or even translate our dialects. We can lead, Madam Deputy, not by copying the world, but by building the world right here in Nassau. Madam Deputy, this debate is about more than data and devices. It's about defining our digital identity. We can either let technology shape the Bahamas, or we can shape technology to reflect our Bahamian values, respect, fairness, and community. Let us remember, progress without principles is just motion, and innovation without intention is just noise. So as we embrace AI and machine learning, let's do so with vision, with caution, and above all, with compassion. Let's make sure that the smartest systems in the Bahamas are guided by the wisest values. Because the true test of technology is not how intelligent it is, but how humane we remain while using it. Thank you, Madam Deputy.
As many, the chair recognizes the honorable member for Marcos City.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, honorable members, and guests. Today I rise with deep conviction and pride in this honorable House to present to you the Data Protection Bill 2025. No longer is the Bahamas' most valuable exports oil or maritime services. They now include our personal data. Whether a Bahamian applies for a loan, invests into online assets, or uses a digital payment application, a small piece of the Bahamas travels across the world in seconds. The Data Protection Bill 2025 will ensure that whenever Bahamian data crosses borders, our rights cross with it. This bill will ensure privacy, integrity, and sovereignty remain at the forefront of our society. Madam Speaker, information moves faster than cargo ships, and our financial systems thrive on this digital exchange. That is why Part 6 of the Data Protection Bill 2025 is so critical. These sections regulate the transfer of personal data outside the Bahamas and make it clear that data shall not be transferred unless the receiving country adequately provides data protection. Simply put, Bahamian information cannot be sent to jurisdictions that do not share our standards for privacy or security. This is increasingly vital to our financial services sector, which heavily depends on cross-border data exchange. Whether it is a local bank corresponding with a financial institution in Toronto, or a fintech platform verifying clients through servers in the United States, this provision ensures that Bahamian data travels under Bahamian protection. It aligns us with the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, the global benchmark for privacy and data security, and positions the Bahamas as a credible, compliant, and competitive jurisdiction in the global market. This bill also reinforces the internal safeguards needed to secure our financial landscape. Section 11 requires data controllers, such as banks, credit unions, and digital finance companies, to implement appropriate technical and organizational measures to protect data from unauthorized access, alteration, or loss. This means encryption, cybersecurity protocols, and trained compliance professionals are no longer optional. They are legal requirements. In a world of rising cyber attacks, this clause transforms financial protection into data protection. It assures Bahamians that their banking records, credit histories, and personal information are not only guarded by technology, but also secured by law. Transparency and accountability are equally important pillars of this bill. Under Part 5, Sections 40 to 45, all organizations handling personal data must register with the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner. Registration makes every stakeholder visible and answerable, ensuring that data processing does not occur in secrecy. Furthermore, Sections 46 and 47 require immediate notification to both the Commissioner and affected individuals in the event of a data breach. Madam Speaker, citizens will have the right to know when their personal information is exposed. That is transparency and that is accountability in action. To ensure these protections extend beyond our borders, Section 23 grants the Data Protection Commissioner the authority to collaborate with international regulatory bodies. This is a powerful step forward. It means that if Bahamian data is mishandled overseas, our nation can now coordinate with foreign authorities to pursue rectification. It ensures that Bahamian privacy does not stop at our borders, but travels with our citizens wherever their information goes. For decades, Bahamas has been respected as a premier international financial center, built on confidentiality, reliability, and trust. But in the digital age, trust is no longer stored in vaults. It is coded into our systems. It is not maintained by silence, but by transparency, and this bill recognizes that reality. It strengthens the integrity of our financial institutions, protecting both investors and citizens by ensuring compliance with the world's most demanding data standards. If we fail to uphold such standards, we risk losing partnerships, investor confidence, and access to major markets. But with this bill, the Bahamas declares that it is not only open for business, but it is ready for the future of business. As a young finance professional, I see this legislation not as a limitation, but as a launchpad. It provides the framework for safe innovation in fintech, digital banking, and artificial intelligence. It creates spaces for young Bahamians to design financial technology that competes internationally, knowing that their systems operate within a secure and ethical legal framework. I am reminded of the words of futurist Amy Webb, who said, "The future is not something that happens to us. It is something that we build, one decision at a time." Mr. Speaker, this bill is one of those defining decisions. It is a commitment to building a future where technology and trust coexist, where economic progress and privacy protection move hand in hand. The Data Protection Bill 2025 sends a clear message to the world. The Bahamas is open for business, but not for exploitation. It declares that we will engage globally while protecting locally. It ensures that when Bahamian data travels abroad, it is wrapped in the full protection of Bahamian law. It tells our partners, our investors, and our people that in this new era, information is the currency of trust, and the Bahamas will not trade that trust for convenience or for profit. Mr. Speaker, our borders may be blue and our skies may be wide. Our data deserves a fortress. This bill builds exactly that. It safeguards our people, strengthens our financial institutions, and positions the Bahamas as a leader in ethical digital governance. And for my generation, the young professionals, innovators, and entrepreneurs who will shape the future, it ensures that we can do so boldly, safely, and with integrity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The member from Marco City rests.
Thank you, Honorable Member. A lot of people say I have really nice eyelashes, so I guess, you know, that could be a confusing factor. As many, the chair recognizes the Honorable Member Michael.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, and my fellow Bahamians and residents, good morning.
Good morning.
It is both a privilege and an honor to rise once again in these hallowed chambers, not merely as the representative for Carmichael, but as a proud Bahamian. Today, I speak of a force that is reshaping the fabric of our world: artificial intelligence and machine learning. These are not just passing trends or fancy words, Mr. Speaker. They are engines driving global transformation. It is redefining how our nation works, how our nation learns, and how we live. It would be a national tragedy, yes, a crying shame, if the Bahamas, as blessed as we are with talent, creativity, and vision, stood idle in the sidelines while the rest of the world races ahead. Mr. Speaker, my people, hear me clearly. AI is not just about machines. It's about people. It is about opportunities. It is about rewriting the story of what is possible for our Bahamian people. Imagine our Bahamas, where our sons and our daughters are not just consumers of technology, but creators of it. Imagine a young woman in Andres launching a data startup, a student in Exuma analyzing hurricane patterns, and a teen in Grand Bahama using AI to protect our natural resources. These are not distant dreams. They can become a reality. Anyone who knows me knows I have a passion for education. And Mr. Speaker, I long to see the day when every child in the Bahamas has access to world quality education. And AI can help us with this. This can turn this dream of mine into a reality. But let's be honest, our national curriculum is far outdated, and there is much work to be done. AI can help us redesign our curriculum. It can help us support teachers and equip our students to not only compete on a global stage, but to complete and to recognize themselves as world leaders. But we have to be open-minded. I repeat, we have to be open-minded. It was said all morning that innovation requires responsibility. We cannot overlook our risk. We have data breaches, algorithmic bias, job loss, and privacy invasions. And these are not abstract fears, they are pressing realities. While I appreciate the Data Protection Act, I propose 3 additional points. Update our laws to ensure transparency and accountability in how AI systems make decisions. Also, embed ethics into every stage of AI development. And lastly, implement AI into our national curriculum, ensuring that no child on any island is left behind. So, Mr. Speaker, we stand at a crossroad. The tide of innovation is rising. We can either be swept aside or, not being political, we can ride the wave. For the Bahamas, it is more than sun, sand, and sea. It is a people of resilience, ingenuity, and boundless possibilities. Artificial intelligence is not a threat to who we are. It is a tool that we can use, so amplify it. It is a vessel that, if guided with wisdom, can carry us forward so that every child has access to opportunity, where innovation can drive prosperity, and where data, our digital identity, is protected like the very pearls of our heritage. So, Mr. Speaker, let us not wait for the world to define our destiny, but let's shape it with courage, compassion, and conviction. As we step into this new digital age, let us hold fast to the words that have shaped our nation from birth to brilliance. Forward, upward, onward, together to a better Bahamas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Ride the wave. Amen. Thank you, Honorable Member. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for St. Barnabas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning. I think it's still morning. My fellow parliamentarians, members of the gallery. My name is Thomas Evans, Jr., and it is a privilege, once again, to represent the great constituency of St. Barnabas. Mr. Speaker, before I continue, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of my grandmother, Miss Gertrude Vogt, who will be buried tomorrow. Her memory will forever remain in my heart. Mr. Speaker, artificial intelligence, also known as AI and machine learning, also known as ML, are emerging technologies that have already taken a foothold in our businesses and education system. Mr. Speaker, artificial intelligence can be defined as computer systems that can perform complex tasks normally done by human reasoning, decision-making, and creating. And machine learning can be defined as a subset of artificial intelligence focused on algorithms that can learn the patterns of training data and subsequently make accurate inferences about new data. Mr. Speaker, artificial intelligence and machine learning present several opportunities, such as improved decision-making, which can improve efficiency by reducing the time required to make a decision. In addition to this, artificial intelligence can improve the rate of innovation and various forms of new business models. However, Mr. Speaker, there are also some challenges with artificial intelligence and machine learning. The first challenge is data quality. If the models are using poor data, the results will also be of a poor quality. Secondly, there are ethical and social concerns about privacy and job displacement. One of the biggest concerns is the academic impact of the technology on students. It is already prevalent amongst school students, and there are concerns that it will impact students' ability in problem solving and critical thinking. Mr. Speaker, the Data Protection Act of 2003 was created with the intent of creating a legal framework for the proper management, collection, and storage of data. With the dawn of artificial intelligence and machine learning and various other forms of advanced technology, there was a need for more current legislation, Mr. Speaker, to address modern technology, hence the Data Protection Bill 2025. This bill fortifies the country's data protection laws to enhance safeguards for individuals' privacy, and the bill aligns with current international standards. Mr. Speaker, there are three key areas in which the Bahamas can benefit from these emerging technologies, which are tourism, financial services, and aviation. About tourism, AI can be used to improve guest satisfaction by personalizing their experiences to suit preferences. This will improve efficiency of our tourism product, which will result in increased financial gain. Mr. Speaker, in terms of financial services, artificial intelligence and machine learning can help the financial services sector by improving fraud detection, risk assessments, and compliance with regulators. Thirdly, AI and machine learning can be a benefit to aviation in the country by optimizing route planning. It can use variables such as weather, aircraft performance, and air traffic constraints to suggest the most efficient route, which would save fuel and reduce emissions. Mr. Speaker, I commend this government for the great work they have done on such an important piece of legislation. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, artificial intelligence and machine learning present several areas of concern around the technology. But the Data Protection Act of 2003 and the new Data Protection Act of 2025 seek to remedy these concerns. Mr. Speaker, the technology has many benefits that Bahamas can take advantage of to help make us more efficient in the way we operate and conduct business, which will overall aid the country's economic development. Mr. Speaker, may God bless the Bahamian people, and may God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you, Honourable Member. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for West, Grand Bahama, and Bimini.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today on behalf of the Honourable people of West, Grand Bahama, and Bimini. Mr. Speaker, if you're not learning, then you're stagnant. If you're stagnant, then you're not evolving, and the business is not progressing. Mr. Speaker, these words by Seth Rollins are not just about business. They reflect life itself. Mr. Speaker, science and scripture agree on one truth. Evolution is constant. Science describes it as ongoing change in the universe, while scripture reflects it through generations and their purpose. Mr. Speaker, evolution is inevitable, and today, that evolution is digital. The rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning is reshaping the world. As a nation, we must explore how to implement these technologies to stay in step with global innovation. The Bahamas should not merely observe the tide of progress, and as my fellow colleague mentioned, we must ride its waves. AI mimics human reasoning through specific inputs, while machine learning learns independently through repetition and algorithms, much like humans learning from experience. Mr. Speaker, these technologies are not futuristic. They are here. From facial recognition in smartphones to predictive weather systems, AI shapes our daily lives. The question before this Youth Assembly is not whether the Bahamas should embrace AI, but how we can do so responsibly, equitably, and strategically. The greatest opportunities lie in public sector transformation. Imagine applying for a passport, renewing a business license, or accessing social services in minutes instead of weeks. AI assistants can guide citizens through online portals, reducing errors and bottlenecks, while machine learning detects inefficiencies, identifies fraud, and predicts public needs. AI can also strengthen the disaster risk management authority's preparedness. Predictive modeling can anticipate storms, optimize evacuations, and assess damage using drones and automated tools, saving resources and potentially lives. Mr. Speaker, beyond disaster response, AI's potential extends to every sector shaping citizens' daily lives, none more important than education. Education is the heartbeat of our future. AI allows personalized learning where students receive instruction tailored to their needs. AI tutors can help teachers identify gaps and adapt materials while embedding AI literacy across primary to tertiary education, preparing youth not just to use technology, but to create it. Mr. Speaker, through the Digital Assist and Registered Exchanges Bill 2024, the government demonstrates its commitment to fintech. AI can support the sound dollar through market prediction, fraud detection, and investment analysis, opening opportunities for young Bahamians in the digital economy. Mr. Speaker, our youth are already innovators. They need an environment that empowers them, an environment with digital infrastructure, research funding, and legislative support for responsible innovation. Yet, AI relies on data, and with data comes great responsibility. The Data Protection Bill 2025 requires lawful, fair, and transparent handling of data. Breaches undermine trust and threaten national security. The government's biometric voter ID card proposal modernizes elections, improves efficiency, and builds trust. Strong safeguards will protect personal data and confidence in line with Section 6, Subsection 1, Subsection A, and Section 13 of the Act. Mr. Speaker, as the Bahamas embraces AI within government, we lay the foundation for a technologically advanced nation. An ethical AI oversight committee will ensure algorithms are tested for fairness, accountability, and transparency before implementation. Mr. Speaker, a common concern is job displacement. But rather than fearing loss, we should embrace transformation, equipping citizens to manage, interpret, and complement AI systems. Safe AI adoption requires law, policy, and oversight, including updating the Data Protection Act, integrating AI ethics into education, and AI governance framework. Mr. Speaker, this debate is not about machines replacing humans. It is about humans empowering themselves through machines. As we digitize, we must not dehumanize. As we collect data, we must not compromise dignity. As we automate, we must not alienate citizens. Mr. Speaker, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7 reminds us, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. Mr. Speaker, the world is evolving, and so must the Bahamas. The question is not if we adopt AI, but how. Let us evolve with purpose, guided by principle and protected by law, building a Bahamas where innovation thrives, education transforms, governance strengthens, and privacy endures. As Seth Rollins said, if we are not learning, we are stagnant. If stagnant, we are not evolving. And if we are not evolving, our beloved nation is not progressing. Let us rise to the challenge of our generation and seize the promise of AI, not with fear, but with faith, not with hesitation, but with hope. Rest Grandmama and Bimini. Thanks you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Powerful words. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The utilization of human intelligence along with artificial intelligence creates intellectual alchemy. Processing data through a machine learning algorithm can synthesize a plethora of interpretations. Incorporating these various interpretations with human knowledge and intelligence can create an unimaginable future. Utilizing AI within social institutions such as government and academia can refine, transform, and optimize an archaic, retrograde Bohemian system, yielding an innovative 2.0 futuristic system we have always envisioned for our country. It is a privilege and an honor to stand before you, Mr. Speaker, in these hallowed chambers to contribute to emerging issues in our country. AI is a multifaceted technology in that it can be used in a myriad of ways in the government sector, spanning a full task spectrum from as simple as processing information and revising laws to complex tasks such as simulations to help with town planning. Machine learning algorithms can be programmed and configured to perform daily operations of frontline services, assisting with processing and renewal of applications, a 24/7 chat support to answer inquiries about services and products before and after the 9-to-5 work period and on weekends. Anything outside the preset functions will trigger a notification for a human response and revision. Imagine dealing with a government worker without dealing with a government worker. These algorithm eliminates the need to wait 3 to 5 business days for a response or for documents to sit in a pile waiting on Ms. Jean Doe to finish her coffee, or Ms. Sally, who has been on vacation since last year, to return to work. The assistance of these algorithms eliminate the never-ending backlog of government office struggle with, promoting the ability to complete applications or simple tasks from the comfort of your home, which decrease the wait time and turnaround time. With every new initiative or implementation, there will always be a cause for concern, which is inherently valid. Issues may arise if personal information may be collected, stored, leaked, and used for other purposes than those intended. However, the proposed Protection Bill 2025 addressed that concern in Part 5, Section 51, Subsection 1. Every data controller shall adopt appropriate technical and organizational safeguards to protect personal data against data security tasks, including unlawful or unauthorized processing of and access to, as well as accidental loss, modification, or destruction of that data. Moreover, we can use AI to help with more complex issues like town planning, specifically environmental analysis. Mr. Speaker, for the last 20-plus years, our development efforts have mainly focused on the construction of hotels. We ask ourselves, how can we further develop our country, especially the Family Islands? We can use AI for predictive modeling
to help predict what type of development would be more suitable for a specific area, identify potential hazards and benefits of an area before actual development occurs. And based on that suggestion, we can assess and determine whether development will be beneficial or not in the next 10 years. Moreover, AI can propose suitable urban development plans to ensure proper design and functionality in an environment. It can also be used to evaluate whether an area is suitable for housing and capable of withstanding natural disasters. Additionally, if AI's potential is fully explored, we will discover the benefits it can bring to the educational system. Students are already using AI, which means they are familiar with this technology. However, how can students properly use this tool to improve their overall education? The Ministry of Education's guiding credo is, every child counts. Its goal is to create an educational system that is technologically sound and competitive and that develops the strength of each child. To ensure that every child truly counts, AI should be applied to the curriculum to address every student's learning needs and learning style. This includes integrating applications in the curriculum that promote speech-to-text, text-to-speech, visual and hearing assistance to target students with hearing and speech impairments. Additionally, while it is difficult for a single teacher to reach every student and accommodate their learning styles, AI applications can be implemented to create personalized assignments using various instructional media targeting different learning styles. And by doing this, we ensure that we don't only employ the technological aspect, but most importantly, ensure that no student is truly left behind. Ultimately, the advancement of technology, if used correctly, is supposed to facilitate the goals we thought we could not achieve. For AI to be effective, we have to be receptive. AI is not here to take over or replace humans or their jobs. AI learns through pattern and repetition. Human learns by experience. Human intelligence is still needed to cross-reference the validity of information, apply critical thinking skills, and conceptualize ideas. Employing AI algorithms in government ministries can truly contribute to the development of an efficient, modernized governmental system. Similarly, employing AI in academics can help reach our goal of no child is left behind. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. So we're going to take a quick pause to recognize our Honorable Pia Glover there, if she doesn't mind standing. Our Minister of Labor and Public Service. It's important that we have the people that are actually in these positions viewing what can very well be their replacements. So thank you once again. As many, the chair recognizes the honorable member for Pine Ridge.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today on the behalf of the great constituency of Pine Ridge to oppose this resolution on artificial intelligence. Mr. Speaker, I am not against AI. I am not against technology. I use it every day. We all do. But I stand here to say that the Bahamas is not ready to dive headfirst into something as powerful and risky as artificial intelligence. Yes, AI can help with learning, businesses, and government systems, but it also brings problems, real problems, like people losing their jobs, personal information being stolen, instead of real Bahamians with real hearts. For example, my friend decided to use AI to cheat on his test and end up getting a bad grade.
Honorable members, please. We're just going to sponge that, okay? Yeah. Can I expunge that? Please continue, honorable member.
We say AI will make things faster and smarter, but faster doesn't always mean better. If a machine can replace a teacher, a driver, or an officer worker, what happens to those family? What happens to our young people looking for work? Mr. Speaker, the Bahamas already struggles with inequality. If we rush into AI, we might make that worse. The few understand and control this technology could get richer, while the rest of us are left behind. And let's talk about privacy. The Data Protection Act of 2003 is old. It was made before TikTok, before ChatGPT, before AI was even a thing. So how can we trust it to protect us from all the data being collected and used by these new systems? Mr. Speaker, before we talk about artificial intelligence, let's talk about human intelligence. Let's train our people first. Let's teach. Let's teach our students about technology, about online safety, so when the time comes, we can lead, not just follow what other countries are doing. I am not saying AI is all bad. It can be useful if we handle it the right way. But right now, we don't have the laws, the skills, or the system in place to make sure it helps us instead of hurting us. So, Mr. Speaker, I say this. Let's not run before we walk. Let's not bring in robots before we build up our people. Let's prepare, let's educate, and let's protect our future. Because the future of the Bahamas shall be powered by Bahamian brains, Bahamian creativity, and Bahamian values, not just by a machine. That's why, Mr. Speaker, I proudly stand here today, not to reject the future, but to make sure we are ready for it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, honorable member. Very nice. You hit the nail on the head. Bring it over the Golden Gates, yes. As many. Chair recognizes the honorable member for Golden Gates. Make sure to breathe now.
Mr. Speaker, fellow youth parliamentarians, distinguished guests, good morning or afternoon. Before I begin, it is with my esteemed pleasure to represent once again the great, the beautiful, the illustrious constituency of Golden Gates. Mr. Speaker, I am proud to announce that under the leadership of the oh so beautiful, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, that the Golden Gates constituency has now finally launched its Golden Gates Youth Council and Association. Mr. Speaker, my topic today for our resolution is why AI? Every generation faces a definite question, one that determines how we learn, how we live, and how we lead. For us, that question is simple yet profound. Why AI? Why artificial intelligence in our classrooms? Why now? And most importantly, why us, the youth, as the ones to shape its future? We are living in an age where technology is evolving faster than our textbooks can keep up. Artificial intelligence can now write essays, grade assignments, create music, and even generate art. UNESCO reports that over 50 countries have already integrated AI tools into their education systems. In schools, students learn languages through AI tutors that can speak in dozens of accents. And math lessons are personalized for every child's pace and ability. So the question isn't whether AI will enter our classroom. It already has. The real question is whether we will lead this change wisely or be led by it blindly. Supporters of AI see it as a bridge to be fairer, more inclusive education. British educator Sir Anthony Seldon once said, AI will be the biggest revolution in education for hundreds of years. And he might be right. AI gives every student a personal tutor, available time, anytime, anywhere. It helps a struggling learner catch up and allows gifted students to soar even higher. Think about it. A student in a remote settlement in Andros can have the same access to academic tools as one in Nassau. That's not science fiction. That's what's possible when technology meets purpose. AI can free teachers from the repetitive tasks like grading, giving them more time to do what truly matters, inspiring and mentoring students. But not everyone shares this optimism. Critics warn that AI might weaken the human side of learning, the empathy, the creativity, and critical thinking that define true education. Philosopher Noam Chomsky recently said, ChatGPT and similar technologies produce fluent sentences, but they cannot think. And education is about learning to think. And that's a serious warning. If we rely on AI to do our thinking, we risk raising a generation that can answer every question, but asks none of their own. Neil Stewens, a leading education researcher, reminds us that AI is not neutral. It reflects the values of those who design it. That means if the data behind AI is biased, the learning it produces may also be biased, widening the gap between those with access and those without. So yes, AI has power, but power without ethics is disguised as danger. The role of the youth. Now here's where we, the youth, come in. We cannot afford to fear technology, nor can we afford to worship it. Our role is to guide it with wisdom, values, and vision. As Sal Khan said, the founder of Khan Academy, AI won't replace great teachers, but it can help make teachers even greater. So as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, the late Stephen Hawking once warned, AI could be the best or the worst thing to happen to humanity. The choice, he said, is ours. And he was right. The future of AI is not written in code. It is written in character. It will reflect who we are and what we stand for. So, Mr. Speaker, my fellow youth parliamentarians, why AI? Because the world is changing, and we must change with it. Because AI gives us the tool to think bigger, learn faster, and reach further. Because it is not about replacing human intelligence, it's about amplifying it. Let us be the generation that doesn't run from innovation, but runs it. Let us use AI not to make education colder, but to make it brighter, fairer, and more human. The question isn't why any AI anymore. The real question is, why not us? Mr. Speaker, the chair for Golden Gates yields.
Thank you, Honourable Member. My God. Man. It really takes that stand here for the people. Amen. As many, Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for North Abaco.
Mr. Speaker, fellow you parliamentarians, the audience in the gallery, and to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas listening and watching, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, and fellow members of the Youth Assembly, we are standing in the threshold of a new era,
Artificial intelligence and machine learning are no longer the ideas of the future. They are here, shaping the way governments make decisions, schools educate students, and societies communicate. The question before us is not whether AI will impact the Bahamas, but how will we choose to use it? I firmly believe that the Bahamas must embrace these technologies, but we must do it responsibly. This resolution recognizes both the opportunities and the challenges of AI, and it calls on us as young leaders to engage thoughtfully in this debate. Let us first consider the opportunities. Interrogating AI into government operations and academic institutions offers tremendous potential. Imagine public services that respond faster and more efficiently to the needs of citizens. Imagine classrooms where every student receives personalized support, guided by intelligent systems. These possibilities are not mere dreams, they are achievable. And are achievable realities if we act with vision and purpose. AI and machine learning can modernize public administration, increase efficiency, and spark innovation across our nation. But members, we cannot be blinded by the opportunity alone. The same technologies that promise to bring progress can also threaten privacy, introduce biases, spread misinformation, and even disrupt traditional employment. A recent study by the World Bank and the International Labour Organization found that in Latin America and the Caribbean, up to 38% of jobs could be affected by AI, while only a small fraction may see productivity gains. These are not abstract numbers. They represent real livelihoods, our neighbors, and the very future of our workforce. So, how do we go forward responsibly? The answer lies in legislation, oversight, and education. This is where the Data Protection Bill Act 2025 becomes very crucial. This act means that it ensures AI systems handle sensitive information with care and respect for individual privacy. Transparency, accountability, and protection of citizen rights are not optional. They are essential foundations for implementing AI into our society. Members of this assembly, this resolution is more than just a discussion of technology. It is a call to action. It asks us to debate the opportunities and challenges of AI and to consider how the Bahamas can harness these emerging technologies while safeguarding citizen rights through social, cultural, educational, technological, and legislative measures. Innovation and ethics are not opposing forces. They must go hand in hand. We have the power to lead. We have the responsibility to act by educating our youth, creating strong policies, and promoting culture that values both progress and integrity. We can assure that AI serves all Bahamians, not just a few. Ask yourself, fellow members, if we fail to act wisely, who will? Who will protect the rights of our people as technology advances? Let us be the generation that embraces AI intelligently and ethically. Let us ensure that the Bahamas is not just a consumer of technology, but a leader in its responsible use, setting an example for others in the region. By doing so, we honor the spirit of this resolution and create a future where AI empowers every Bahamian while safeguarding our fundamental rights. Mr. Speaker, fellow members, for the reason I stand firm in this support of the resolution, I urge all of us to debate passionately, act responsibly, and commit to shaping a future where artificial intelligence and machine learning benefit every citizen of the Bahamas. Will we rise to this challenge? Will we rise to this challenge? I believe that we can and we must. Mr. Speaker and members of this assembly, The member for North Abaco rests. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable member. I'm quite certain the people at Cruiseport love that speech. Beautiful. That's the power we need nowadays, I'll tell you that much. All right? She deserves one more, doesn't she? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. All right. As many, the chair recognizes the honorable member for Centerville.
Watch it.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today representing Centerville, a constituency that is rooted in progress and resilience, to address an issue that will not only define our generation, but the generations to come: the responsible use of artificial intelligence and machine learning in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Across the world, nations are transforming the way they work, learn, and live through the power of technology. Artificial intelligence is no longer a futuristic concept, it is the present. It powers our phones, drives our economies, and increasingly influences the decisions that shape our daily lives. But as we embrace these innovations, we must ensure that our people remain protected and that our digital sovereignty, the right to control our own data and technological destiny, is never compromised. As our Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip E. Davis, stated, quote, open quote, "If we don't secure our digital future, someone else will define it for us. When access to digital systems determine access to opportunity, exclusion is no longer just economic. It becomes structural. It becomes generational," end quote. Mr. Speaker, those words are a call to action, a reminder that while technology can empower, it can also divide. It can connect, but it also can exclude. It can advance our nation, but left unchecked, it can erode the very freedom we hold dear. Therefore, the task as policymakers is to strike a careful balance, to encourage innovation while safeguarding the rights and privacy of Bahamian citizens. Artificial intelligence offers tremendous opportunities for national growth. In education, AI-powered tools can deliver personalized learning so that a child in Mayaguana can receive the same quality and instruction as one in Nassau. In healthcare, predictive systems can detect illnesses early and improve patient outcomes. In public administration, AI can reduce bureaucracy, streamline services, and enhance transparency. In business, AI can open global markets to Bahamian entrepreneurs and small enterprises. The possibilities are endless, but Mr. Speaker, so too are the risks if we fail to act wisely. Our foundation for protecting citizens' rights lies in the Data Protection, Privacy, and Personal Information Act, 2003. Though enacted before the rise of artificial intelligence, its guiding principles, fairness, transparency, accountability, and security remains relevant and powerful for today. These principles require that data be collected lawfully, processed fairly, stored securely, and used only for the purpose in which it was given. Yet, as AI evolves, new challenges have emerged, challenges that our current laws must now rise to meet. Mr. Speaker, I propose that the Bahamas adopt a comprehensive national framework built in 4 key pillars: social, educational, technological, and legislative measures. We must begin by building digital awareness amongst our citizens. Through public education campaigns, community training, and youth-focused digital literacy programs, we can empower Bahamians to understand their rights and responsibilities online. The informed public is one of our strongest protection against data abuse and misinformation. We must also equip our young people to not just be consumers of technology, but creators and guardians of it. By introducing AI, data science, and ethics into our schools' curricula, by supporting innovation hubs at the University of the Bahamas, we can prepare a generation of Bahamian developers who understand both the power and the responsibility of technology. Mr. Speaker, this is how we ensure the future of AI in the Bahamas is written by Bahamians and not imported and imposed. The third pillar is technological security.
We must invest in cybersecurity systems, data encryption, and national data centers to protect our citizens' information. I agree with my colleagues. We should establish a national AI ethics board to oversee the use of AI, ensuring that algorithms are transparent, unbiased, and compliant with Bahamian law. These safeguards will strengthen public trust and guarantee that data collected in the Bahamas remains under Bahamian protection. Finally, Mr. Speaker, our laws must evolve to meet the realities of the digital age. The Data Protection Act of 2003 was a visionary for its time, but 2 decades later, it requires modernization to address AI-driven data processing, automated decision-making, and cross-border data transfers. Mr. Speaker, the Bahamas stands at a digital crossroad where we can either be passive consumers global technology or active architects in our own digital destiny. If we act with foresight, guided by the principles of the Data Protection Act and the vision articulated by our Prime Minister, we can build a future where technology empowers our people, strengthens our economy, and upholds our values. Let us commit today to a future where artificial intelligence is not a threat to our freedom, but a tool for our progress, a future where Bahamian innovation leads the way, and the Bahamian rights remain protected. Mr. Speaker, together let's secure the Bahamas' digital future wisely, responsibly, and boldly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. We want to take another pause to recognize our great Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs, Mr. Clay Sweeten. He's also the Member of Parliament for Central and South Eleuthera. Whoop, whoop. All right, so thank you so much for being here and witnessing this historical event. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marathon.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, cabinet ministers, listening audience, good morning. Good afternoon. I stand today proud and grateful to represent the magnetizing people of Marathon as the youth voice. I pause to ask, how many of you have lost your phone this morning, called out to it, and it answered? Hey Siri, where are you? Where are you?
I'm over here.
2025, machines can stimulate thought. Doctors perform surgeries across oceans. And now it's easier to track anyone. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is not some distant fantasy. It's the autocorrect that fixes our text, the camera that recognizes our faces, the maps that guide us to Nassau Village, and the algorithm that curate our TikTok feeds. AI is already in our pockets, in our schools, in our businesses. The question is, will we control it, or will we let it control us? I present the Data Protection Bill 2025, which lays strong foundations and principles to protect Bahamian in the digital age, highlighting lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. It ensures citizens know how their data is used. It enforces purpose limitation, so information collected for one reason is never secretly used for another. And it demands integrity and confidentiality, protecting Bahamian from loss, misuse, or theft. Violators can face up to $50,000 or 3 years in prison. This is how serious we are about digital trust in the Bahamian safety. But let me be clear, Mr. Speaker. AI is an opportunity to drive a more inclusive Bahamas. Consider Farrington, a student from Cat Island, receiving instant personalized lessons from an AI-powered learning platform. AI helps him
follow the curriculum at his own pace, and stay on schedule. Mr. Speaker, to that, no child, no island, no dream left behind. This is not just about technology. This is equality. We know the struggle. They ain't ready. Come back next week. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking forms processed in minutes. When AI handles paperwork, people handle people. In healthcare, the potential is revolutionary. Consider Ms. Roll waiting in the PMH emergency room from 2 p.m. to 3. Not 3 p.m. though, 3 a.m. If medical AI was used here, we could assess her symptoms instantly, predict her wait time, send text updates, and connect family island patients with doctors in Nassau in minutes. This is a step forward toward a healthier, more humane Bahamas. Yet, as every sailor knows, when the tide rises, the current grows stronger. Some fear AI will take jobs. I say no, AI will elevate and create jobs. The World Economic Forum reports that while 85 million jobs may be displaced, 95 million more will be created. I'm talking AI creator, tester, and the list goes on and on. Countries like the US, China, and Japan have already leveraged AI to drive more growth and innovation. Are we getting left behind? Still, data privacy must remain sacred. AI depends on personal information. That's why the Data Protection Bill is essential. It builds a digital fortress around Bahamian citizens, establishing an Office of the Data Protection Commissioner to enforce transparency and accountability. Mr. Speaker, we must confront bias. AI learns from data, and if we're not careful, AI could favor certain communities. Bahamian AI must be trained on Bahamian data, audited by Bahamian experts, and reflect Bahamian values. Our algorithms should sound like us, understand us, and serve us. Some say AI makes too many mistakes, but so do we. Airplanes crashed before they flew. Computers froze before they connected the world. Every invention began with failure and grew through persistence. Others fear AI leave behind those who cannot read or write well. But the truth is the opposite. AI gives them a voice. Speech recognition, translation, voice to text. AI does not silence, it empowers. AI is a mirror of reflecting who we are and the choices we make. The data protection bills give us the guardrails, but we, the Bahamian people, must provide the will. Will we join the movement, or will we continue to shun innovation because of fear? We must choose to embrace this new age as Bahamians. The future is waiting on us and not stopping. Neither should we. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for South Andros and Mangrove Key.
Mr. Speaker, members of the gallery, and my fellow parliamentarians, we live in a time when the line between imagination and reality grows thinner every day. What used to sound like science fiction is now daily life. Cars can drive themselves. Phones can translate languages in seconds. Computers can write essays, diagnose diseases, and even create art. That, Mr. Speaker, is the world of artificial intelligence, or AI. AI is transforming how the world thinks, works, and learns. But as with any great invention, it brings both light and shadow. It brings efficiency and opportunity, but also risk and responsibility. Mr. Speaker, across the globe, AI is reshaping economics. In the United States, it's helping doctors detect cancer earlier. In Kenya, it's being used to predict crop yields and prevent famine. In the Caribbean, Jamaica is exploring AI for disaster management and tourism. The Bahamas cannot afford to be left behind. If used wisely, AI can transform public services, modernize education, strengthen disaster response, and even make government more effective. Imagine the Bahamas where traffic lights adapt in real-time conditions, where students get personalized tutoring through AI platforms, and where hurricane alerts reach every island instantly through smart prediction systems. This is not fantasy. It is technology already within our reach. But, Mr. Speaker, for every benefit, there is a warning. AI systems learn from data, and data, if biased, can teach machines to discriminate. If we are not careful, Mr. Speaker, AI could replicate human prejudice, deciding who gets hired, who gets a loan, or whose face a camera recognizes. Already, countries around the world are wrestling with bias when machines make unfair decisions simply because their data reflects inequality. We must ensure the Bahamas does not walk blindly into that same trap. And then there is a matter of jobs. For many Bahamians, the question is simple. Will AI take my job? The honest answer is, in some cases, yes. Routine tasks in finance, customer service, and even transportation may soon be automated. But that does not mean the end of human work. It means the beginning of new kinds of work. We will need data analysts, cybersecurity experts, and AI trainers. Roles that do not yet exist in large numbers here, but must. This is why education is key. Our schools and universities must evolve from teaching only how to use technology to teaching how technology thinks. Coding, data literacy, and digital ethics should not be optional subjects for the few. They should be a part of every curriculum, because the students sitting in classroom today will be the citizens who lead the AI revolution tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, the government of the Bahamas has already laid an important foundation through the Data Protection Act 2025. This act protects how personal data is collected, stored, and used. We cannot rely solely on imported policies from larger nations. The Bahamas must design its own framework, one that fits our size, our values, and our Caribbean reality. That means including Bahamian educators, scientists, churches, and yes, young people, in shaping how we approach AI. Mr. Speaker, our region is waking up to this moment. Barbados has begun exploring AI in tourism marketing. Trinidad and Tobago is drafting its own data protection amendments. Even small island nations like St. Lucia are using AI to improve healthcare delivery. We, too, must see ourselves as part of this movement. The Bahamas can lead in developing ethical AI for small state governance, disaster resilience, and education, areas where human life, not profit, is the focus. Yet, leadership requires responsibility. We must protect the most vulnerable, the children, the elderly, and those who are digitally excluded. If AI becomes a privilege of the few, we will only deepen social inequality. Technology must serve people, not replace them. Mr. Speaker, imagine if we built an AI system that could translate between Bahamian Creole and English to preserve our dialects for future generations, or one that could digitalize jungle designs to train young artists, or one that could predict flooding patterns in Andros or Abaco to help save lives. That is the kind of innovation that reflects who we are as Bahamian: creative, resilient, and forward-thinking. Mr. Speaker, the future is already knocking. The question is not whether AI will change the Bahamas. It already has. The real question is whether we will shape that change or let it shape us. Will we be consumers of technology or creators of it? Will we be spectators of the future or architects of it? The choice, Mr. Speaker, is ours. Let us ensure that the rise of artificial intelligence becomes not a story of lost jobs or lost control, but a story of a nation that learned, adapted, and led with wisdom. Let the Bahamas show the world that small islands can make big decisions about big technology. And to do so with vision, fairness, and heart. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
As many, and thank you so much, Honorable Member. Really, really good. Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Fox Hill.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow parliamentarians, members of the gallery, and to the nation that is hearing my voice, a pleasant good afternoon. I once again humbly rise on behalf of the resilient individuals of the Fox Hill constituency. ChatGPT, Perplexity, Sora, Alexa, Cortana, Google Assistant, Siri, what do all these entities have in common? They are all forms of artificial intelligence, with all being in a branch of AI called natural language processing and machine learning, with the exception of Sora, which is a generative AI turning text prompts into videos. According to Britannica.com, artificial intelligence, or AI, is the ability of a digital computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings. AI has the ability to create, reason, generalize, and learn from past experiences just like humans. AI is so advanced, Mr. Speaker, that one day the Ministry of Youth won't even need real people to participate in youth in Parliament. They can just input a carefully written prompt on Sora and then post the results on their Facebook page. Yes, Mr. Speaker, we are truly living in a new age of technology, and honestly, it is a bit scary, Mr. Speaker, because without proper safeguards, AI can overrun human intervention and completely eradicate the need of the human touch. However, AI implementation within government and academic systems opens doors to endless opportunities, but we have to figure out a way to harness this power responsibly. The resolution's intent is not to demonize AI as many individuals have been doing in recent years, but it is about finding a way to integrate into our systems without being a major burden and securing everyone's privacy. The Data Protection Bill, which builds upon the foundation laid out by the Data Protection Act of 2003, wants technology to serve the Bahamian people, not cripple them. For instance, AI can automate government processes such as licensing and payroll. That way, there's a decrease in delay for individuals who have to deal with these matters. AI can also enhance the economy by encouraging individuals to look into digital entrepreneurship and create tools that can forecast the weather, analyze tourism, or even aid in jungle custom design. In regards to education, I believe teachers, lecturers, and professors should encourage their students to use sites like ChatGPT or Perplexity when doing their assignments. Sites like these allow students to retrieve information in a matter of seconds, learn quickly, and access global knowledge. Because, Mr. Speaker, which sounds more sensible? Having a million tabs open on your computer searching for information, or having one tab open that can pull information from all over the internet, analyze it, interpret it, and give it to you in a manner in even which a newborn could understand it? Seems like a no-brainer to me. What I will say, though, is that these tools should be used as an aid, not a crutch. Because with all these plagiarism detection tools, it would be quite foolish to ask ChatGPT to spit out an essay for you and copy it word for word, rather than you take the essay and put it in your own words or generate an outline that you can easily follow. While all these are positives, I would be remiss not to analyze the potential risk of AI implementation and not having data protection. Without the regulation outlined in the bill, assistants like Siri or Alexa may record our conversations and store location data, making us ponder the question, when technology listens, who is listening back? with Section 5 outlining lawful processing, Section 24 outlining the right to access information, Section 25 in respect to the right to file a complaint, Section 26, the right to rectification, Section 27, right to object processing, and Section 28, the right to erasure. The establishment of this bill will give citizens their rightful protection to their data. As many of my fellow parliamentarians would have mentioned, there is also a looming risk of losing jobs to AI. I think that instead of releasing people in favor of AI, we should train Bahamians how to work with it so that we can create a more efficient workforce. This ties right into Section 15 of the bill, where the Data Protection Commissioner would monitor AI compliance and educate the public. Accountability, Mr. Speaker. It's all about accountability. Mr. Speaker, this is indeed the technological age. So we must not fear the inevitable. We should work with it so that we may reshape it to our liking. Let's invest in getting AI into our schools, teach the students about coding, internet ethics, and how to use AI as their aid. Make sure that there is constant evaluation from the government to see how AI is being used. I support the implementation of this bill as it means progressing our country into the technologically advanced nation it ought to be. AI is inevitable. Let's work with and control it to our liking and not allow it to control us. Mr. Speaker, I yield.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. AI really is the future, but we ain't gonna let them take the jobs yet. All right? As many, the chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Yamacraw.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow youth members of Parliament, esteemed guests, physical and virtually, good afternoon. Today, I am pleased to represent the people of Yamacraw and rise in support of this resolution on artificial intelligence and machine learning, technologies that are transforming the world around us and that hold tremendous potential for the future of the Bahamas. I think AI is the new electricity. Whatever industry you work in, AI will probably transform it. Andrew Ng, a British-American computer scientist, entrepreneur, and educator. Mr. Speaker, artificial intelligence is not a distant fantasy. It is a present reality. It is here, in our phones, our banks, our classrooms, and even our government services. These technologies are reshaping how societies function, how economies grow, and how people connect. If used wisely, AI can help us build a more efficient, transparent, and innovative Bahamas. Imagine a Bahamas where government services are faster and easier to access, where citizens can register businesses online within minutes through smart, automated systems. Imagine schools across our islands using AI-powered learning platforms to personalize lessons for every student, helping those who need extra support and challenging those who are ready to go further. Imagine a healthcare system that uses data and predictive tools to detect and prevent outbreaks before they spread. These are not distant dreams. These are achievable goals, if we embrace AI with foresight and responsibility. However, with every new technology comes new responsibility. Artificial intelligence brings not only innovation, but also risks, including data privacy concerns, algorithmic bias, misinformation, and the displacement of jobs. That is why it is vital that AI implementation in the Bahamas remains consistent with the Data Protection Bill 2025. This protects citizens' personal data and ensures that technology serves rather than exploits the people. Mr. Speaker, to responsibly embrace AI and its opportunities, I propose 5 key measures for the Bahamas. Establish a National AI Advisory Council. This council should bring together experts, educators, students, and private sector innovators to guide national AI policy, encourage research, and ensure fairness, accountability, and ethical use across all institutions. And we've heard it again and again today. Integrate AI and digital literacy into the education system. We must prepare Bahamian students to compete in the digital age. Coding, AI concepts, robotics should be introduced early, from primary school to the tertiary level, to produce creators, not just consumers, of technology. Champion integrity and openness in AI applications. Government and academic institutions that use AI should be required to publish clear, accessible information on how data is collected, used, and stored. Transparency builds trust and aligns with our existing data protection laws. Create AI research and innovation hubs. By collaborating with the University of the Bahamas and PTVI, we can establish research labs focused on local challenges like traffic management, tourism, marine conservation, and hurricane preparedness, using AI as a tool for national problem solving. Protect workers through upskilling and training. AI should not replace Bahamian workers, it should empower them. The government should invest in retraining programs to help workers adapt to technological change and seize new opportunities in the digital economy. Bahamians, this resolution is not about replacing people with machines. It is about using technology to improve people's lives. It is about building a Bahamas that is smarter, it's faster, it's fairer. One that uses innovation to strengthen governance, expand education, and protect our citizens' rights. If we act now, we can make the Bahamas a regional leader in ethical and responsible AI governance, a nation that embraces the future without losing sight of its values. Mr. Speaker, I support this resolution because it challenges us to think boldly and act responsibly. Let us move forward with confidence, ensuring that our embrace of artificial intelligence is guided by education, ethics, and equality. Let us use technology not to replace the Bahamian spirits, but to enhance it, because the future will not wait for us. We must shape it ourselves. And through responsible innovation, the Bahamas can truly lead in this new digital era. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. Many? The chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Exuma and Ragged Island.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow youth parliamentarians, members of the gallery, esteemed guests, and my one-of-a-kind constituency, Exuma and the Ragged Islands, good afternoon. You know, when we hear the words artificial intelligence, some people immediately think robots, the Terminator, of course, taking over the world, or better yet, ChatGPT writing all of the essays that make them go, ugh, why? But guess what? AI isn't here to destroy us. It's here to test us, what we are capable of, our ethics, and how we can adapt without losing our humanity. Artificial intelligence, believe it or not, is the ultimate tool that will transform our world beyond our wildest dreams. Just imagine smarter government operations where decisions can be made in months instead of years. Our classrooms producing sharper, more independent students that can go on to become millionaires. With a more competitive economy, thanks to all of the endless digestible nuggets on financial literacy, business growth and development, and career advancement. But this piece of history, it comes with serious yet reasonable questions many may ask. Who controls all of this data? And how is it controlled? What are the boundaries? And how are we protected if the algorithms are misused or inaccurate? That's where our Data Protection Act of 2025 comes in. And trust me, this act could not have come in at a better time. It's our national seatbelt as we ride into the digital age. In a nutshell, the act says that data collected, whether it's from a phone or a school database, it must be done lawfully, fairly, and transparently. Under this law, you have the right to access your data, correct it, erase it, and even object to how it's used. In simple terms, it gives us the power, not someone behind the screen, over how our information is used. And that's important because AI systems are only as ethical as the data collected. If the data is biased, then of course the decisions will be biased too. And if the data isn't protected, then privacy is a mere illusion. Should we then say no to AI? Of course not. We should welcome it. We should embrace it, but we should never allow it to replace human connection. We must also allow ourselves to become a smart nation, one that doesn't just use our technology, but one that uses it wisely. Now, I know some might argue, but AI can take away jobs. And yes, it will change the way how certain businesses are structured or set up, but it will also create new roles and new opportunities for many people, young and old. The real challenge when we look at it is not how we can stop AI from advancing, but how we can prepare for it. That means we must integrate AI and digital literacy into our schools, not just through our curriculums, but through programs and skill trainings that are directly associated and responsible for AI, such as coding, robotics, and data management. And hear me out now, speaking the language of most of our youths, social media. What does that mean? It means we use what we know gets our attention best. We can also incorporate digital skills such as content creation, media literacy, and digital communication, more so into our educational systems, skills that a lot of our youths can run circles around others. Just picture the growth that we can have in our future, in their futures. We can also reap even more benefits once we have clear AI ethics guidelines. Because although we want the decision process to be easier when it comes to important decisions, for instance, who gets a scholarship or who gets a loan, we still want the decision to be ours. Or we want it to be someone who actually has a human connection with our fellow citizens and a strong cultural understanding of who we are as Bahamians. This resolution doesn't call for us to fear the future, but it calls for us to shape it. To use AI not as a replacement for our creativity and our culture, but as a tool to enhance it, to build the systems that make our government more efficient, but more importantly, aware. At the end of the day, we must remember, data isn't just about numbers on the screen. It's about people, our people. Giving each and every Bahamian the respect, the dignity, the privacy that they deserve, especially in the era that we're in. So when we look at this resolution closely, let's ensure that the Bahamas isn't just a nation of paradise, but of wisdom and the future, where innovation and integrity can walk hand in hand. And to my fellow members who still thinks AI is just another word for Terminator or a cheat buddy, don't worry. If we are ready before this great innovation reaches, like the great Bishop Lawrence Rose said, we will survive. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, it is well. All right. Thank you so much, honorable member. Truly, great words. As many, the chair recognizes the honorable member or representative for disabilities and inclusion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Artificial intelligence is simultaneously the best and the worst thing that has ever happened to us. In fact, AI is the embodiment of the movie character from The Incredibles, Jack Purr, where the automation of routine physical and digital tasks complements a wide range of areas across sectors, such as social inclusion with its assistive technology, business with predictive analytics for Bitcoin and stock trading, academia, information technology, engineering, and agriculture. However, like Jack's uncontrolled powers in demon transformation and fire combustion, AI's power can also be used in the wrong settings, producing disastrous outcomes like disinformation, job losses, bias, and over-reliance with no fact-checking. Also, like Jack, AI needs its own highly advanced power suit. to monitor and contain the vast, unpredictable range of superpowers. The Data Protection Bill 2025 on its own is an insufficient suit and needs to be enhanced or reassessed by Auntie Edna. AI has been around since the 1950s and has experienced exponential growth in the last 5 years. It is here, and the time to use it is now. Access to raw data sets is an inefficient process due to the fragmented and outdated storage systems. Thus, it requires intensive stakeholder consultations and time for project completion. Artificial intelligence can easily remedy this problem by supporting the work of the Ministry of Economic Affairs Digital Transformation Unit, particularly in its cybersecurity, online government services, and digitization of the government records. Further to this end, AI can generate a centralized data hub with organized data sets easily accessible across multiple sectors and agencies. Accessible data is often not transferable due to the lack of universally agreed upon data indicator frameworks within the agencies in the same sector. Do you follow? Yeah. Okay, well, I'll say it anyway. I'm speaking to the way that the data is collected, grouped, and stored. This affects the reporting quality, as it is hard to compare an apple to an orange in a position paper. Additionally, the data processing time is often delayed and hinders public access to information. So it exists, but it exists in an abyss, essentially. Artificial intelligence can show trends and results across many different data sets and easily point out inefficiencies, allowing decision makers to stick to indicator frameworks that work and produce consistent results. This will greatly aid the work of the Bahamas National Statistical Institute and result in time and cost savings through prioritization and organization. Think about the household expenditure report that was conducted in 2021, and we're still waiting on the public release. There's a reluctance and restraint in data sharing amongst agencies due to data privacy concerns. This poses a serious roadblock in agencies that carry out their mandate and the projects that are for national gain. This Data Protection Bill 2025 that is currently being tabled remedies this issue in part. AI needs to be considered to aid in the execution and be regulated by the bill. Lastly, there's a lack of continuity and succession planning with data and research units, resulting in data losses along the way. Organization in this framework is key through legislation and policy. AI remedies this because it is a continuous operation with minimal human intervention. And token holders, which is the humans, have access to input command functions to allow AI to automate and sort key data points to continue the work on a centralized system. Mr. Speaker, I leave you with this quote from Fei Lee. Artificial intelligence is not a substitute for human intelligence, but it is a tool to amplify human ingenuity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. I love the comparison. Very nice, very suitable. As many, the Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Bamboo Town.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to keep this sweet and short because it is almost 1:30 soon, and I know you're all hungry. I'm hungry too. Mr. Speaker, fellow parliamentarians, gallery, my fellow Bahamians, I rise today as a representative for Bamboo Town to speak against the resolution on artificial intelligence. It's common theme that the people who are speaking against artificial intelligence are going to be saying, hey, I use technology every day. Hell, my phone, got my YouTube, got my Bible, got my WhatsApp. That's my everything. And I would like to say that with artificial intelligence, we could use it, but I'm against us moving too fast with it. You can't run with scissors. I know y'all heard that every single day when y'all was younger. AI, or artificial intelligence, sounds exciting. It's promising to make things faster, easier, and smarter. But Mr. Speaker, behind every algorithm is a person, and behind every piece of data is a real behemoth. When we rush to bring AI into our schools and government systems without proper regulation, we open the door to problems we might not be ready for. We're talking about policies, jobs, and fairness. AI systems use our personal information, photos, video recordings, even how we think and move. And without proper laws, that data can be misused. The Data Protection Bill 2025 was written to protect our privacy, but even that can't stop every risk. And once your data is out there, it's gone. The Data Protection Bill of 2025 clearly states that every data controller and processor must keep personal data accurate, secure, and used only for lawful purposes. However, the AI resolution calls for machine learning technologies to be used across government and education without explaining how those privacy rules will be enforced. This raises serious concerns because AI systems depend on massive amounts of personal information to function. Without strict monitoring by the new Office of the Data Protection Commissioner, payments could face privacy breaches, data manipulation, or bias in automated decisions, all of which threaten citizens trusting technology and government systems. Then there's the issue of jobs. In Bamboo Town, I see people working hard every single day. Parents who are slowly being replaced by AI-generated videos. The youth who are lacking bonds because they use ChatGPT as their best friend. And business owners. Timu, that's all I gotta say about that. All of them are just trying to make ends meet. If we let AI take over too quickly, machines can replace those very people. Cashiers, clerks, writers, even teachers. Hell, when it comes down, when I was in high school, I used to do French. My French teacher, let's say that she wasn't the best teacher out there possible. However, I had to use AI. And AI doesn't teach you French. It teaches you what it thinks is French. So when it came down to assignments, let's just say I wasn't passing that class.
God give me strength.
No one's job would be completely safe. How do we build a stronger Bahamas if we replace behemoths with computers? Sorry. Mr. Speaker, there's something deeper. AI doesn't have a heart. It doesn't understand compassion or culture. It doesn't know what it means to be behemoth, to take care of a family, to share what little you have, or to dance to the beat of your drum. Technology may be powerful, but it can never replace people. So yes, we should explore technology, but with wisdom. Before we plug in AI into every system, let's teach our people how it works. Let's make sure the laws protect them. Let's make sure behemoths are in control, not machines. Mr. Speaker, I can't support the resolution as it stands. I stand for innovation, but the kind that uplifts our people, not replace them. I stand for privacy, fairness, and opportunities for every behemoth, from Bamboo Town to Bimini. Technology must serve us, not the other way around. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. As many The chair recognizes the honorable member for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and this Honorable House of Assembly. Good afternoon. I rise today as the youth representative for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador, and to speak in the strong support of the responsible use of artificial intelligence in the Bahamas. As Proverbs 4:7 reminds us, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Mr. Speaker, wisdom and understanding must guide us as we welcome artificial intelligence into our nation. Artificial intelligence is no longer something we see only in the movies. It is here and it is already changing how we live, how we learn, and how we work. From voice assistants on our phones to programs that help doctors detect diseases faster, AI has the power to make our country smarter, safer, and more efficient. We have already seen how technology is making its way into our school through the proposed Oracle system. The goal is to make record keeping, student tracking, and communication easier. But, Mr. Speaker, many teachers have raised concerns that the system is not yet secure, and they have every right to be cautious. In an interview with teachers from both primary and high schools, several said the Oracle system will be a great tool once properly secured, but measures are in place for it. For now, too many are worried about their personal and professional information being exposed. Yet, those same teachers are already using AI in meaningful ways. They use it to plan lessons, create assessments, and adjust work for students who learn at a different speed. That shows us something important. Educators are not afraid of technology. They just want to make sure it is safe. Another teacher pointed out something we should all think about, Mr. Speaker. She said that while AI is very beneficial, students must also learn how to use it responsibly. Too many young people are depending on AI to do their work instead of helping them understand it. And that, Mr. Speaker, is where the roles as educators, parents, teachers, and leaders come in, to teach the next generation not just how to use AI, but how to use it wisely. This issue of responsibility connects directly to the Data Protection Bill 2025, which focuses on accountability, transparency, and the protection of personal data. If we can ensure that systems like Oracle and all AI tools are properly secured, Bahamians will feel more confident using them to improve their lives and their work. Mr. Speaker, this is not just about schools. In the work sector, one professional shared that AI has been a lifesaver for her. She said, and I quote, "It helps me with my time cards, report, and more than 40 emails a day, and I don't even have an assistant," end quote. But she even admitted that she is sometimes afraid to put company information into AI tools because she is worried about data protection. And that is why it is important that we move forward with innovation while strengthening the systems that keep our data safe. Mr. Speaker, AI is like a young mind, full of potential but need guidance. If we train it with strong values and clear laws, it will help us build a more efficient government, a stronger education system, and a more productive workforce. The Bahamas cannot afford to stand still while the world races ahead. We must embrace artificial intelligence wisely, responsibly, and confidently. Let us not fear the future. Let us shape it. Let us use intelligence, both artificial and human, to create a Bahamas that is not only modern, but secure and full of opportunity. Mr. Speaker, as I close, Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans." Mr. Speaker, if we commit to our initiative, our learning, and our technology to the Heavenly Father, then artificial intelligence will not control us. It will empower us to build a brighter Bahamas for generations to come. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Chamber.
All right, honorable members. All right. Thank you so much, honorable member. Only thing left was the altar call. All right. Okay. But good words. Very poignant. Yes. As many as are in favor will remain seated. Those opposed will stand. The motion is carried and the resolution is agreed. Wait, one moment. The chair recognizes the honorable member for North Apico.
I move that the business of the House be suspended to 2:30 p.m.
Is there a seconder? The chair recognizes the honorable member for Fort Charlotte.
I second this motion, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded that the business of the House be suspended to 2:30. As many are in favor, will remain seated. Those opposed, which I think there are none. The motion is carried. The business of the House is suspended until 2:30 through the grace of God.